Hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. One and all. I wonder if that's actually not... Ooh. Yeah, it's not full screen. I want you to be full screen. One moment, please. Fixing my chat window. My eyes will not work correctly if I can only... Oh boy. Clear that. Clear that. Close that. There we go. A little bit bigger. Alright, this is a unique day for us here. Not only are we eating snacks, this is the first time I've worn this jacket on stream. Welcome to the Domino House. My name is Lux Domino. I'm your Sherpa of streaming. We are, we need to get a video done. So I figured I'll start the stream with that. So you're gonna see actually how the sausage is made here, and it's kind of awkward. Family friendly, Lux. So we're going to do an editing stream, and you're gonna watch me edit. Boring for some, yes, but then not for others. But I need to finish this video, so I thought I'd give you a insider's view of my mind. That might be a bit awkward. Of how my mind works and how I do certain things for the content that you see on TikTok. So also, by the way, we're on TikTok and YouTube, and feel free to join us on there, and every little bit helps, every follower helps. We have transitioned into doing more long-form content, because long-form content a little bit easier to get monetized that way, and so we're trying to get monetized with our content. So that means for you is you get to see me every once in a while, not game, but instead do some creative things. So sometimes it'll be thumbnail creation. Sometimes it'll be like today, video editing. So I have basically no agenda. I'll try and be talking openly about like what I'm doing, just like I kind of always do, run commentary. And then if we get done with the video at a certain point, we'll jump on. I'm excited to see Mordicus. Well, hello, sir. Welcome. How are you, sir? How was your week? I was excited to see the Warzone update for next week. So I think for sure next week, was it next Thursday, I think it was. So maybe Thursday's stream and definitely Saturday's stream. We'll jump into Verdansk, because we started our streaming career on Verdansk like so many other people. And Marcus says, good week. Nice. Those are always fun to have. Are you watching from no, last week it was that you were camping. You're not camping this week. I was about to say, that's commitment right there, folks. Watching from a campsite. Next week for sure, doing Verdansk content. I'm pretty sure that these servers will be fully loaded with people. There's a lot of hype coming out of this release, notes release that they did this last week. So we will probably take a break from PGA Tour on stream, and we'll do some Warzone content for a while. But then that will give me opportunities to do some other PGA Tour videos for long form and get those done. Just chilling at work for another hour. There are a couple events going to on. Wow, I did not read that correctly. Just chilling at work for another hour, as there are a couple of events going on that need babysitting. Wow, I don't know why Mordicus that came out. Which is actually Dutch. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, right on. Well, we are going to be boring today. I guess for some people it's not boring, but I'll be video editing, and because I need to get a video done, and I like teaching people. I like consulting, consultation jobs, and I like showing people kind of some new ways to think about doing it. So if you've ever wondered how a YouTube content creator goes through, it might have helped if I had used any sort of punctuation. Well, it's implied, right? Mordecai, you and I have been together for long enough that I should be able to read your unpunctuated notes, but I honestly don't know many people who use punctuation anymore correctly, which is kind of sad, but kind of a sign of the times. So we're going to jump into an edit. You can see kind of my brain splattered all over Premiere Pro, and I think the last time I did this, I didn't have any audio, like 4 years ago. We have audio. Double check that. Watch there not be audio, and it'd be really funny. So yeah, and then next week we're gonna do some Warzone streaming, I think. Just kind of back to where it was when we first started streaming. And then I'll be able to do some PGA Tour content offline and get those videos rocking and rolling, getting YouTube rocking and rolling, get TikTok rocking and rolling. So thanks for joining us. Glad to see you, glad to have you. From wherever you are, maybe watching. Let's have some fun. I'll still be reading chat, I'll still be engaging with you guys, and I'll be commenting, which is why I know most of you tune in to hear me comment on things. So let's just jump in. I have a bunch of seeds here that I was using as my snack. My snack! Okay. So, for those of you unfamiliar with timelines and such, I think I need to pop my seat down just a little bit. This is what's called a non-linear editor. I always knew you were a seedy character. You have no idea, man. And I mean that in the most positive way. Any kind of seed, sunflower seed, pumpkin seed, those are the two biggest seeds, right? I'm all over it. It's so good. Mrs. D shouts from the other room, walnuts? And Mrs. D, I believe that walnuts are qualified as nuts. Hence the name walnut. But they're not a seed. Oh, she says. Mrs. D is currently watching some British time period. What's that? Yeah, well, it's a nut. She enjoys those. All right, Mordecus, listen, you're not helping the situation. Mordecus agrees with you, Mrs. D. Walnuts are botanically classified as seeds. Okay, but there's all sorts of wrong with classification. We know that some fruits are vegetables, or some vegetables are actually fruits. We know that, like, anything with a seed can be a fruit. So does that mean that a pumpkin is a fruit? Well, no, a pumpkin's a gourd. Is a pepper a seed? Well, no. Or is a pepper a fruit? No, because this is a great way to start out. Just a little bit more controversy. That'll help. That'll help things. Let's get into the JFK assassination. Let's do that. I mean, why not? Let's just go to the top here. Your rabbit holes. Yes. Don't get me started, because Mordecus, I think you have witnessed it maybe once or twice. I can tend to rabbit hole my way into a contradiction, or rabbit hole my way into a false statement or whatever. So I would much rather not do that today. So for those of you not familiar with editing software, this was called a non-linear editor, meaning you don't have to. So here's a timeline down here of all the footage. Look at all that nice footage. This is called scrubbing, by the way. there's a lot of there's a lot of terminology that comes over from the old film days. So you'll see, like, as we go along, you can see kind of how people used to edit by slicing film stock that they shot on and then combining it with other film. Crazy. That used to be how movies were made. But this is a non-linear editor, meaning that you can do something here in the process and not have to do anything here, which is linear, 1 to 1 to 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. You can start here at the end and work your way backwards. You can do the middle and then this piece and then this piece and then push them all together. There's a bunch of different ways to edit. And it being a non-linear editor means you can jump around. You don't have to start from beginning to end. Which in film, you can see what I'm getting at. In film, you have to. Because you're literally attaching, pieces of film to each other. So this is the timeline. I am a big fan of color coding pieces that, for me, I color code. Some people color code based on if it's an audio piece or if it's a video piece or if it's a sound effect or if it's a voiceover. I color code based on shot zooms, zoom levels. So that I can better. A lot of my stuff is just talking head. Yeah, we wish you would stop. Got him. A lot of my stuff is talking head, so it makes sense that, for me, in my mind, it makes sense that blue is a certain zoom level, like your wide shot, and then with each very popular, not anymore, I should say. It's now just kind of good practice that to hide over a jump cut, which is basically jumping from one thing to another. It's the same shot, but you're not cross-fading it. You're not putting something over top of it and using that B-roll to cover over your cut. Just a regular jump cut from bump to bump. It is kind of, it's good practice now, and it's kind of the standard now, to use pushed in a little zoom as your next shot, to make it feel like, oh, I didn't see a jump cut there. This is all just one linear piece. So as an example, I'm just going to start from the top, and you'll see kind of as we go, you'll see the color coding matter of, oh, that's where that's punched in this much or zoomed in this much. So I think I just found the meta controller for PGA Tour 2K25, and if I'm right, this secret weapon could change everything. Buckle up, legends. This is where it gets fun. I've been playing. So you saw it go from this shot to punched in a little bit more to punched in even more. So that's kind of how I use my color coding. Some people use it for just different media types, but for me, that makes sense in my mind, at least. So you also have tracks in linear editors, non-linear editors, or even music editors too. The tracks can be labeled, and that way you can have, let's say, this first track, A1 here, audio 1. I can rename it as voiceover, or VO, as a shorthand. This next one can be effects, or SFX for sound effects. This third one can be music. That makes it just easier to see as you're going from top to bottom or across your timeline. It makes it easier to see different sections of what you're trying to work on. And when everything, it's kind of like when you're driving down the road, when everyone's in their own lane, it works well. You can kind of go at your own speed. Some people are faster, some people are slower, but it doesn't matter because you're in your own lane. Same thing is true with editing, in this way at least. So all of my voiceover for my main, what they call A-roll, is in this first one, and then sound effects, or this one actually really should be B-roll. It's like B-roll audio, like this one here is setting up a shot.
And then it hit me, like a golf ball to the face. What if?
I just really like that cut. That's really humorous to me. So now if I have like all of my sound effects, I can add something on, like let's say we'll go to the audio mixer here. All of these audio channels are now labeled. So if I need to like automate as the video is going, fader moves, or if I need to affect certain things, like here's my voiceover effects channel, channel strip. So like all the effects that are going on in my voice. I can do that to any of them on this one track. Instead of going from clip to clip to clip and doing it on each clip, you can save time by throwing them all in their own lane and then affecting that one lane to be the same. Make sense? So that's kind of how I label things, color code things. That's how I do it. I think we started at the beginning here.
I think I just found the meta controller for PGA Tour 2K25, and if I'm right, this secret weapon could change everything. Buckle up, legends. This is where it gets fun.
I think I'm going to, just so I don't forget, here's going to be a wipe. I'm going to do a quick edit of everything first, but I'm going to leave a gap here because there needs to be a transition between the hook, what I just said, and the actual intro of the video. So I'm going to leave this gap here for that. Do a quick save. And then it rolls on after probably like a linear wipe like that. I don't know what yet. We'll get to it.
I've been playing PGA Tour 2K25 since launch, and if there's one thing I've been chasing,
technically
it's a
before
controller
launch,
setup that offers more accuracy and repeatability, especially when things go sideways in ranked matches. Not that I ever let that happen. That got me thinking. Back in college, I'd always see those Golden Tee arcade machines at beverage establishments and bowling alleys and game rooms. Unfortunately, I never got to play it much, but I couldn't help but notice the giant roller ball that I used. It looked fun. It looked intuitive. Most importantly, it seemed to give the players the...
I love how I call that a roller ball there and not a track ball, even though it's a track ball. I didn't remember to take that out, but I still need that kind of roller ball. At the time, I probably would call it a roller ball, so it's fine.
It seemed to give the players the precise input that they needed. And then it hit me, like a golf ball to the face.
I think I need to make that it's a button joke. So the button is a term used in kind of comedy, but you button scenes up in acting. It's an acting term, theater term, and film term. But a button is like it's kind of like a punchline, but you can use a button. It can be like a statement, or it can be just tightening the very end of the scene to make it more impactful. So I'm using this punchline as a button, and I think the button needs to be a little bit faster. So, because here you have...
And then it hit me, like a golf ball to the face.
Like that little... I just find it funny. Anytime that you're laughing at your own jokes, I've learned to lean into this. Anytime you're laughing at your own editing and your own jokes, someone else will be laughing as well. So you can be assured that someone else will find it funny. This just needs to be tighter. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna select the clip. And I think, so here's what I did something kind of interesting, weird maybe. This is just a vertical video. So one way to get around it would be really awkward to have black bars on either side. You can do it. It's a stylistic choice. But a lot of times you'll see a blurred background, and what it actually is, you can actually see if you watch the background, you can actually see that it's just a blurred copy of the foreground video. So I just did that just to have something be full screen, but keep your focus on just that little button joke here. So I think he takes a little too much time to swing. So I think I'm going to move. This might be not the right thing to do, but I think it's going to be. a tighter joke if I just squinch it together a little bit.
And then it hit me like a golf ball to the face.
Just enough so you see the joke, hear the joke, you know immediately what happened. Maybe a little bit longer so you can see the backswing.
Input that they needed. And then it hit me like a golf ball to the face. What if?
I think that removing this much, you'd be surprised how you don't really miss that much. So I'm gonna scoot everything. So on Premiere Pro, one of the keyboard shortcuts, it's always good to remember your keyboard shortcuts. I can hit A and my cursor turns from a yellow arrow to kind of two black arrows. And that just means from everything, you can click on a element, and from everything there forward, it selects everything. Very handy. If you didn't have that feature, you'd have to zoom out. And if you imagine doing this for, I mean, this is just a 10-minute video, but imagine doing this, like you can like select and grab and select. Imagine doing that for like a 2-hour movie. It just doesn't make sense. So, if you have to shift everything forward or backward, you can hit that. And now I clicked this one. This is where I wanted to start. It now selects everything on all lanes, and you can move everything forward or backward. Comes in handy. Comes in handy. I have had some issues though when I didn't see that it was still selected, and I moved some things but not other things, and it can get pretty frustrating to try and fix that. But and you can also just select something in a certain lane. So this is video 1 and audio 1. These are their lanes. So if I hold down shift and click it, it will only select the things in that lane. So all of the stuff above it and below video 1 and 2, or video and audio 1, are not selected. So that's kind of, it makes going through edits a little bit quicker when you know those kind of things. So here's the incoming joke.
It seemed to give the players the precise input that they needed. And then it hit me like a golf ball to the face. What if we brought a trackball to PGA Tour 2K25? Could using a trackball give me great...
There needs to be beats like that. I would say there are different people who, I'm just reframing this here on OBS. There are people who believe that beats have to happen quicker than this, but you at some point you have to interject some sort of, in talking head videos, some sort of respite from whatever, whether it's B-roll, whether it's a cutaway gag, it's like, so if it's comedy, a splice of something that's, I mean, you guys know me, I try to be funny. Whether or not I actually am or not is up to you. So I wrote in the scripting for this, I knew that I wanted to have some sort of gag here or joke here. I thought it would be like a little rotating golf ball coming in and like hitting me, something silly like that. But then I thought, well, I know we're family friendly here on Twitch and on YouTube, we're live, but pushing the boundaries of like not always going to the well of borderline inappropriate things, but you know, a golfer hitting himself from a ricochet, I mean, and the fact that I said golf ball to the face and someone say that's not what happened. So there's a couple layers of that joke here. So
Face input that they
here's
needed.
the intro
and
of
then
it.
it hit me like a golf ball to the face. What if we brought a trackball to PGA Tour 2K25? Could using a
I also put that in there because I want to be able to see in the analytics later, as this video gains momentum, you can learn a lot about your audience by if they click off on a certain point, or if an audience drops off after a certain point. okay, at what point did they drop off, and at what point does that correspond with my video, so that in the future you can know, okay, I'm not going to do that joke, or I'm not going to do this, or be shorter, or whatever.
Trackball give me greater control over my swings? Could it give me more precision around the greens? Well, we're about to find out. Let's see if this is the upgrade frustrated controller players like me have been waiting for. Or is it just us
Waiting for? Wagging for? Is that what I heard?
frustrated controller players like me have been waiting for? Or
It kind of is like I was saying wagging for.
frustrated controller players like me have been waiting for? Or is it just a
Weird.
swing and a miss? Golf puns! I know this is solving a problem that most aren't.
I want to do a piece of business here with golf puns. I went from here to here, so that's 22 to 20, so 22:57 to 23:31, so almost a minute of no gag, so just information, broken up with the gag, and then having some sort of humorous piece here, only like 30 seconds or 25 seconds after the last one. So you never want to be so, okay, every 5 seconds there's a gag or some sort of piece to pull off of the main. If it's a longer form talking head, you have the time to really put the moments of humor in throughout the entire timeline. You don't have to stack them close to each other. So
Just a swing and a miss. Golf puns! I know.
and that's just a stupid like call, like it might be just like a call out or like a sound effect when I do that. I don't know. We'll find out here in a we'll find out here later.
Aren't even thinking. I know this is solving a problem that most aren't even thinking about. There's a big gap between dreaming about what could be and making it practical. But here's what I do know. Most of us are either using a thumb grip or a pinch grip to control the stick. And here's the thing, no matter how practiced you are, there's always that moment when your thumb slips or you're off by a bigger margin than you thought. When suddenly you're dealing with a hook or a slice you didn't even ask for. It can be incredibly frustrating when you make what feels like the perfect swing,
So here's
the ball goes completely in the...
here's another one of those kind of more minute long. The cuts help, but there needs to be some sort of respite.
the wrong direction. But Lux, just use your palm on the thumbstick and it'll solve that. Well, sure, it might help, but I'd much rather have a larger interface I can manipulate with my whole hand, or even two hands if I wanted to. I want more control. I want better awareness, instead of being stuck with a thumbstick buried in my palm, or crowding.
Even little things like that of, and this gets into visual design and audio and sound design. Not everything has to be a visual note or a visual reference. So here, naturally, I just added, and yes, I can tell that the grading is off on both of those. That's one of the things we're gonna fix tonight. I just naturally did this as a way of showing what it would be like, but adding some sort of sound design piece that sticks there can be just as effective as a visual
Control.
cutaway
I want
or
better
whatever.
awareness, instead of being stuck with a thumbstick buried in my palm, or crowding around it just to use both thumbs. The controller just isn't ergonomically designed for that. Enter the trackball. It's already been proven to work in golf games and offers greater control over small, precise movements with a larger surface area for swing awareness. I can see all you mouse and key players.
Okay, so here's a little trick. These were from two different takes. So a take, if you're unfamiliar with filming, a take is like a try, or like it's you from your starting place to your ending place. A take is going from start to finish once. So a scene, and when you're filming a scene, you might be taking multiple takes in that scene, and then the editor later will be taking those takes and figuring out which one goes well with others. This one, it's kind of like hard to hear him say this, or he did something weird, or she did something weird there. So the editor will take, let's say, 2 takes or 3 takes and splice them all together to make it look like there was 1 take. Sometimes you can get away with it because people, like here, there's a push in
Swing awareness. I can see all.
to cover it. Those were 2 separate takes. I know some people who are really good at just doing one take from start to finish on talking head videos, and then they're just slicing it. And once again, we learned that slicing or cutting is from the film days where they actually would have to cut pieces of film and splice them together. I would say that most people, however, they try and do one take and it ends up being this super long video file, and then they're having to like scrub through all of their video takes to try and find, well, this one works here, this one works there. So I tend to film as far as scenes. If I'm looking at my script, that'll be here right on the prompter, this is kind of like a scene, so I'll have shorter segments so that I can quickly find the different takes that were good and then splice them together from that one scene for that one scene. So you can see here,
Designed for that. Enter the trackball.
that feels like it's the same, and it might have been, I don't remember, but this one you
A
can
larger
feel that there's
surface
something
area for
different
swing
there.
awareness. I can see all you mouse and key players face
But it's not as
palming and
apparent
saying,
because of the
"Just
editing."
use a mouse." But for
Just use a mouse. I don't know what to do here.
palming and saying, "Just use a mouse." But
It has a little bit of potential comedic, but I'm not sure what. On our TikTok videos, we kind of did, or have been doing, so there's a little bit of a familiarity with like doing a crazy video filter and then like a high-pitched voice or whatever. So that might be what I'm doing here.
awareness. I can see all you mouse and key players face palming and saying, "Just use a mouse." But for smaller setups or crowded setups like streamers, including myself, always seem to have, there just isn't enough room for.
I might need to cut that here.
But for smaller setups or crowded setups like streamers, including myself, always seem to have, there just isn't enough. But for smaller setups or crowded setups like streamers, there just isn't enough room.
I might, depending on how it goes, I don't like where it's, how the flow of that, and I'm the one that wrote it, but the take that I picked felt emotively the most emotive, what I wanted for the people to see, the audience to see, and it kind of just stumbled out. So it's not quite as clean. I get kind of jumbled up in what I'm saying and doesn't really make sense.
But
So
for
I might,
smaller setups or crowded setups like.
so stop it right there. Smaller setups or crowded setups, and then start it here.
There just isn't enough room for the travel of a full mouse swing.
So take out
Like streamers, including myself,
streamers, including myself. I added that just as a note for later of, oh, he said he's a streamer earlier. If someone watches the video from beginning to end, oh, where does he stream? So it's a kind of a little hint at the future call to action. You're always wanting to tie those things together if you're trying to bring people over from one platform to another. Those little nods help, but it's just a little chaotic here.
but for smaller setups or crowded setups like streamers, including myself, always seem to have, there just isn't enough room for the travel of a
I'll
full
leave it
mouse
in.
swing. Plus, it's a trackball. I can finally see what I was missing out on all those years not playing Golden Tee. It's a mood, man. Before I went out and dropped money on
You can see that that was a different take as well,
playing Golden Tee. It's a mood, man. Before I went out and dropped
especially coming out of it.
Before I went out and dropped money on a full-size 3-inch arcade trackball, I wanted to test the concept first to see if what I imagined in my head would even work. So I got a trackball mouse.
So this is one of the weird things of editing, that when you're trying to establish enough room to make, you know that this is the shot that you're wanting to get to, and some people would, in the beginning of the shot, then as they're introducing the final shot, they're sliding it over. You try, and when you only have one camera set up, you try to use the camera with specific different cuts to facilitate that, rather than having a moving camera or sliding, slide over, or a second camera. You end up shots like
3-inch
this.
arcade trackball. I wanted to test the concept first to see if what I imagined in my head would even work. So I got a trackball mouse. I'm not entirely.
It's a little bit jarring, but it works.
entirely sure how this is gonna go. I'm gonna stick with it though. The additional challenge that we gave
So immediately,
my head, what even
here's the audio levels right over here, and we're gonna do an overall level kind of mix down after this, after we're kind of done with the editing part.
I wanted to test the concept first.
So you can see that
if
it's
what I imagined in my
averaging
head
around
would even
12,
work.
negative 12.
So I got a trackball mouse.
A little above that.
I'm not entirely sure how this is gonna go. I'm gonna
Now
stick
it's
with
averaging
it.
negative
Additional
15. So this is the gameplay. So all of this was from a separate filming that I did afterwards. And then these camera shots are from on stream, like we are right now. And for those of you just joining us, welcome to the Domino House. My name is Lux Domino. I'm your Sherpa of streaming. I did the bow thing at the wrong time. I'm your Sherpa of streaming. Today we are taking a break from golf. We are normally neck deep in ranked matches right now, but I need to get this video done. So I thought I'd bring you along for the journey. And so you can see a little bit how my mind works. Unfortunately for some of you, that's not a good process to be in. So thank you for joining us, by the way. I'm Lux. I'm a family-friendly streamer. I focus on sports. We're going to be jumping back into shooters for a little bit for Call of Duty's new Warzone release, which we're excited for next week. But let me know how your week went. Let me know if you have any big weekend plans. Today is a great day, especially here in Michigan where I live. The weather was nice, so we were able to get out a little bit, take the doggo for a car ride, and yeah, let me know how your week went. Good, bad, or indifferent. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to encourage you. Let me know where you're joining us from. We'll jump back right in.
I'm gonna stick with it though. The additional challenge that we gave ourselves.
So
was, can we
these shots from
not
here
only
on out are, I know that they're just going to be 4 dB or 5 dB lower. So I want to equalize them to what was already here, and then once I have everything at the same level, I can then do, okay, everything on that track needs to be raised up just a little bit more now. So I'm going to use our friend, the A tool, and I'm going to select just this top, because this is all of my A-roll audio. So I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to go over here. Everything is selected. Sometimes you can do it by, like if I were to select just a single track, you can edit it here and then copy and paste it. But there's a lot of cuts. So I'm so sorry. I don't mean to yell. I'm sorry. So we are going to go here, and then if we manipulate, there's lines here on each of the clips. Up here for the video, the line means opacity. So now you can see that this is showing the transparency underneath. So that's for a video. That little line going through the entire clip is for opacity. But for audio, it's audio level. So I can clip. Oh, no, it's not going to do what I want it to do. Ratzenheimers. I thought I was being smart. So what we can do, however, is set it for this one, then select it. I'm going to add 4 dB to this one. So then we're going to copy, which copies the entire attributes for both the video and the audio. Then I'm going to select all of them, but then deselect this one because I don't need to paste it to there. So then I'm going to paste it to all of them that are selected. And here, you don't have to paste everything all at once. You can select what you are pasting. So here, we're going to just select the volume, and you're going to see here that this line and this line will shoot up here. So then this one is now up here. This one is now up here. So all of those were just raised. The audio is just raised, all of them at once, rather than having to go through all of them and correct them individually. So that's good.
I'm not entirely sure how this is gonna go. I'm gonna stick with it.
Kind of still underneath here at 10.
Can we not only complete the round,
and I get quieter
but
there.
get under par?
And I have a compressor on. I might just have to up the compressor. But now that we're here, I'm gonna actually add, it's at 4 dB hotter. I'm going to add 2 more to that. Let's do 4 more of that. So now it's going to be closer to what the other one is.
I got a trackball mouse. I'm not entirely sure how this is gonna go. I'm gonna stick with it though. The additional challenge that we gave ourselves.
So you saw that it was right up there, you know, -10, -9. So now we are going to copy. Remember, it copies the entire thing. We're going to select just those tracks, paste, and just volume again. So it raised everything again. So going from the post film.
I got a trackball mouse. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to
To
go.
the gameplay film.
I'm gonna stick with it though. The additional challenge that we gave ourselves was, can we not only complete the round, but get under par for 18? I'm not gonna do any practice swings. This, for better or worse, this is what it is. All right, you ready?
So you notice that now everything is the same, very similar level going from before to after. That's what we were doing. I'm gonna deselect those. So now every bit of VO is roughly at the same level. So if I need to make them all, once we do a final audio listen through, to make sure that for YouTube it's a good level to hear everything and all of that, so that people aren't turning their volume up and down, we'll see if it needs to be tweaked. But now I can tweak everything just with one slider. Okay, I'll just bump up everything by 2 or by 3, whatever it needs to be. So now we are into what I am unsure about as far as if things need to be tightened up. So we're gonna continue to do some editing. Right now we are close to 10 minutes and 30 seconds. So, and for a talking head, for a long form, lean into that. Like, obviously you don't want to keep in pauses, you don't want to keep in ums and ahs, you want everything to still be tight, but there's a little bit more wiggle room as far as time. People who are watching long form content, anything above 10 minutes and you really have to be sure that your audience is with you the whole way. And that's as far as pacing and essentially scripting the script. So there are things that I'm saying, but there's a story that I can weave with what I'm saying that helps people stay engaged and stay focused. I don't know if this really does need it or not, that kind of extra fine tuning, but we'll see.
I'm gonna stick with it though. The additional challenge that we gave ourselves was, can we not only complete the round, but
this is let's see where there's a. So I'm gonna take the coloring from this one, copy it, and then put it to these two. So it was what they call log footage, basically flat. So it gave you plenty of room to dial in how dark things are, how colored things are. So this compared to this. So all we're doing here is this is what the camera was watching. And then because there's not a lot of detail as far as the contrast, the darks, the highlights here, my skin, but the shadows of the chair and Mrs. D's computer and the printer, all of that was kind of left flat so that you can come in later and change it, or not really change it, but enhance certain things that need to be enhanced. Do I want the shadows a little bit darker? Do I want the highlights? Here's how the color should look. So that's all that shift was.
complete the round, but get under par for 18? I'm not gonna do any practice swing.
So, I'm so sorry, I don't mean to yawn. So normally I would cut that out, but I'm not sure if we've gotten into the part of the video that's a little bit more, I want my personality to show more, because if someone has stuck around for 3.5 minutes, they've been intrigued enough by my personality or by the content that I can then rely on my natural camera presence, my natural character to come out. And then that's why people come, and some people, if your channel is an informational channel, they will come back to you because you are providing information. If If it's a personality, which gaming a lot of times, unless it's someone who's really, really, really good at the game and they're watching you play the game, it's all personality. So you want to highlight that as much as you can so that people get to know you more, and you are ingratiating yourself to them, and those moments, because it's only a 10-minute long video or a 5-minute long video or an 8-minute long video, you have to be willing to go outside the box to make sure that that personality is coming through. So
with it though, the additional challenge that we gave ourselves was, can we not only complete the round, but get under par for 18? I'm not gonna do any practice swings.
I think that's enough personality of like,
but get under par for 18. I'm not gonna do.
I don't know if I need to cut that. I like the pause. I like the. It's not a stammer. It's yeah.
Though the additional challenge that we gave ourselves was, can we not only complete the round, but get under par for 18?
Especially since
get under.
I'd have to keep in the but get
under par.
But get under par. If I were to slice this up and do like multiple shots, it would just be jump cut after jump cut. I would much rather have.
Though the additional challenge that we gave ourselves was, can we
might stop it there.
not only complete the round, but get under par.
But get under par
for 18.
For 18. So I'm really looking at this. Let's see, 39 second. It's only a second. Same thing here, 42 to 30. Yeah, so it's really only a second here and here. I'm willing to keep that.
For 18. I'm not going to do any practice swings.
So we're going to, here's where we're starting to do the color coding again, just so that we know what we're doing here. We're going to label blue, and then I think I am looking for, this is the side, I need to not have it be orange. I think I need that little mid push in is what I'm going to use here. So I'm gonna paste, not the color, we want to paste the motion. But I also did not deselect, oh boy. I did not deselect the volume here. So it changed the volume.
Get under par for 18. I'm not gonna do any practice swings.
Nope, didn't work. It's probably because of all that, the messing around that I was doing. Let's do this again. So we're copying, we're pasting only the motion, and you'll see it push in there. Label mango.
I'm gonna stick with it though. The additional challenge that we gave ourselves was, can we not only complete the round, but get under par for 18? I'm not gonna do any practice swings. This, for better or worse, this is what it is. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I think that was just fine.
I totally can see
for push in.
I totally can see certain players being drawn to this.
There's gonna be some vocal artifacts, like here, because of the way I had my mic set up at the time. I had left on a like a limiter, and it was kind of garbling my vocals here, so you can hear it.
I totally can see that little certain players being.
That kind of stuff will be covered over by music, so it's not really a huge thing to worry about.
But
I do want to. It comes in a little harsh. With that So I'm gonna fade that up a little bit.
I totally can.
A little bit smoother, volume-wise. It's not an attack. Like I can totally see. Smoother.
I totally can see certain players being drawn to this. There is a level of accuracy.
I think I have to club up here, right? You can hear a little bit of a change there. with the tone of the voice. I think it might be just where my mic was in relation to my mouth.
There is a level of
I was probably looking.
accuracy. I think I have to club up here, right?
I was looking down for both, probably.
Certain players being drawn to this. There is a level of accuracy. I think I have to club up here, right? Oops. Club up, and I'll do a choked approach, which is different than a chocobo.
I added that earlier. I'm not a Final Fantasy person. I only know the chocobo based on what other people have talked about. And I knew kind of what it looked like, but embrace those moments where you're just saying something. I've learned to really not shy away from referencing things that come to mind. Let that kind of thing flow out, because in the editing process like this, it gives you an opportunity to, you're immediately editing in something that's a cultural reference or a meme reference or whatever. Right. So,
oops. Club up, and I'll do a choked approach.
So right here, that's not just 1 second. That's kind of a long shift, but we've kind of gotten, in this part of the video, it's less instructional and more the let's play of the trackpad game. So
club up here, right? Oops. Club up, and I'll do a choked approach, which is...
So I think there is the necessity for the space here.
Right. Oops. Club up. I think I have to club up here, right?
I could cut this out and then come right
club
to
up,
here.
And I'll do...
So I have to club up here, right? Let's see what that looks like. I'm so sorry for yawning. It's not my intention.
I think I have to club up here, right?
So audio works on that. We're gonna select everything and pull everything over. And I have it set so that it stops when it hits the end or the beginning of your clip, and you can line it up that way. Let's see if it flows better now.
I think I have to club up here, right? Club up, and I'll do a choke.
So right there, it's the audio's from where I cut it, it doesn't work.
And I'll do a choked.
But I can always, I don't have to readjust anything with the video, since the video is fine. I can just bring in the audio track here, bring in right here, it's just, I'm clamping down 100% on the audio.
I have to club up here, right? And I'll do a choked approach.
So for someone watching it, they don't know that I silenced this first bit. All they're hearing is just the result of it, with little sneaky things like that.
I think I have to club up here, right? And I'll do a choked approach, which is different than a chocobo.
So right here, now that we've added this length, there's not a lot of...
Just different than a chocobo.
There's not a lot of screen time for the game, but in between the talking head portions. So I think that's what we lost. So everything is still selected. We're just going to give, oh, there's nothing there. Typically there's something here to release. It might be because I had everything selected there. Yeah. So I had everything selected, which could not have been moved. I needed to deselect all of that and then just select this. I think that's probably gonna give us a little bit more.
I think I have to club up here, right? And I'll do a choked approach, which is different than a chocobo.
So right there, I think that's plenty of, it's almost equal parts. Camera to gameplay, back to camera for the joke.
Choked approach, which is different than a
but there is a little bit of a kind of a weird artifact there.
Chocobo approach, which is different than a choke.
So when you, especially when you're cutting scenes together, you want everything to sound and look like it happened in one take, right? That's the whole point. So here there was an audio glitch, kind of like a that I heard based on whether or not I cut it correctly. Sometimes you don't line those up precisely, and there's just some weird volume swell here at the end of one and not here at the beginnings, and you can hear that. You might be able to get away with it because you're masking over it with music, but for me, choked. Now that I'm here, it takes 2 seconds to essentially just fade out and then fade in. Fade out the ending, fade in the beginning of the next one.
Approach, which is different than a chocobo.
Which is enough of an audio mask that you don't hear that little rise in volume, if it's that, or I'm a stickler when it comes to sound design. You can see here on, let me increase this. On this track, this is the gameplay track, which is my voice as well as some sound effect cues. I'm not going to use the sound effect cues here. You can see this is the spike from the audio of that. You can barely hear it. It's just artifacting. You can barely hear that club. It's important for whatever you see on the screen to have some sort of audio cue that help people understand that just happened. So whether it's you see a bird fly across the screen, you see that you're outdoors, you see that a golf club was swung, you need to hear that in order for it to seem realistic. So I'll be adding here, once I'm done with the video edits, I'll be adding all the sound designs. You can see what I'm talking about.
Which is different than a chocobo. Oh boy. Oh boy. I think
right there you can hear the crowd come in. They started to boo.
Oh boy. I think we Oh boy.
I could, if I get
Oh boy.
If it gets really annoying, I can cut it out.
Oh boy.
And just keep the oh boy.
I think we stick.
I think it'll be fine.
Oh boy. I think we stick to pitch. Can we even pitch it here? Yeah. I think we stick to pitch.
Once again, there's a little blip showing me that's where the swing is. So I'm gonna use that as a reference. Okay, I'm just gonna quick drop the swing there and it'll be lined
Get
up.
out, get out, get out. Roll down. Into the hole.
And you can hear when my voice comes up.
Into the hole.
Because it's all on one track, the game audio and my voice are all on one track because I'm using my gaming PC for that audio and then sending it over to the streaming PC. So because this was on a stream, much like you're hearing me now, the audio from Premiere Pro is on the same channel, unfortunately, good, bad, or indifferent, as my voice. So sometimes you'll hear that and you can't really cut it out.
Get out, get out, get out. Roll down. Into the hole.
So you could hear the audience.
We do not
back
deserve that part. We kind of lucked out there. I think the par threes are going to be what separates the men from the boys here. We kind of lucked out there. I think the par threes are going to be what separates the men from the boys here. They can go so wrong.
So right here, I'm going to do what we did earlier because there's multiple cuts. I'm going to do that punch in. And I think I'm going to punch into a closer shot here. Copy the mango here. Only the motion.
I think the par threes are going to be what separates the men from the boys here. They can go.
So you can go back to what you were doing on this section, but to be honest, I want a little bit more intimate there. So I'm going to push it in further. Post. How about paste?
Lucked out there. I think the par threes are going to be what separates the men from the boys here. They can go so wrong so quickly.
Too much of a punch in. So to go from here to then bam. So I'm going to...
What separates the men from the boys here. They can...
Just change this to maybe that. which, because I'm linked to something else below here, it's applying it to this one rather than this one. I could change that based on what video track is enabled, what's targeted for. So like you can do that this way. You can unselect the target for the first one, and then if you are linked as one, then whatever you select over here will change instead. Maybe not. I thought that's how it worked, people. 68. Well, for sure, let's unselect them, ungroup them, and then just change that. We'll need to change the headroom, which is the space in between the top of the shot and the person's head. So you want it to be consistent as you punch in to make it look like it's not moving.
I think the par threes are
just
gonna be
moving forward.
What separates the men from the boys here. They can go so wrong so quickly.
I think it's still.
I think the par threes are going to be what separates the men from the boys here. They can go so wrong
Yeah, I'm okay
so
with that.
quickly.
I'm okay with that as far as it still seems like it's a pretty big punch in, but one of the ways that you can figure out if you're centered or not, by the way, is you can add guides. Did those show up? Yeah. So there's a center guide. Here's the dead center. So I moved this over and moved this up so that it's dead center crosshair of what's center, and you can base your image on what's centered and what's not. I always add a headroom marker as well, just to make sure that between shot to shot, from shot to shot, I'm consistent with how much headroom I bring to each shot. So as this is going, you can now
out
see
there. I think the par threes are going to be what separates the men from the boys here. They can go so wrong so quickly.
So all of those are somewhat off center because the starting shot is off center. So I'm gonna have to do this probably with everything. I'll go back and do this after I've done the basic edit, just double check that. But I will eventually, more than likely, this is at 100%. So this is as maxed out as I can go as far as having some sort of balance here. Why aren't you working like I want you to? There we go. I don't have any more vertical headspace. I don't have any more on the bottom. I sometimes, depending on the type of 4K that you're shooting, there's a resolution that you can shoot that the aspect ratio is a little bit wider on the sides, 4098 by 2160 instead of 3840 by 2160. So that ratio, that resolution is still 4K. It's still above 3840 by 2160, but there's a little bit on either side that you can, at your fullest shot, you can still maneuver it. But regular 3840 by 2160, so that's the sideways resolution and the vertical resolution, horizontal and vertical resolution. You don't have any of that. So if I'm trying to move something, like let's say I need to just scoot this shot a little bit more towards the center, I don't have that over here. So what I would need to do eventually is not that, but punch in just a little bit, zoom in just a little bit, because then you do have something on either side, and right here it's showing you, based on this line here, that's the line of what you have on the shot. So I have that much wiggle room, and then I would need to do the same correction on each of the punch-ins. That way it's not shifting every time you zoom in to the new shot. It's the same, and it just feels like it's going in. So I'll do that later here. So we'll just do the stock. Whoa, that's actually what, okay, so here's the thing. Because it's a 1080p timeline, not a 4K timeline, I should have double checked whichever I set first. Because 4K is 4 times the resolution of 1080p, so it's like having 4 1080p images in one. When I shoot at the 4K, it's when I pull it into a 1080p timeline, it's treating it like 1080p. So I need to always have it zoom out by half, so 50, to get your 4K image. Weird, I know, but it all depends on, like, so basically each of these quadrants, since this is centered, each of these quadrants, top left, right, bottom left, are in a 4K image. You have 4 1080p images in one 4K image. So if I were to if I were to hit 100 at the very edge of each of these, I would be able to have this top quadrant. So what you're seeing right now is the top left quadrant of this shot. Make sense? So you always want to shoot, I shouldn't say always. When you have the ability to shoot in a higher resolution, do it, because then you have all of this room here to push in and it is still high resolution. If you were to push in and you're only 1080p, that's made up of, what would it be, smaller 21, 720? 720 plus 720 is 1080, right? No, that'd be 1440. So it'd be, you have less room. Like, it's too late to do maths right now. You have less, essentially you have less room to zoom in and retain the quality that you're looking for. So always shooting in the resolution that you can have as much information as possible on the screen. Then when you come into your editing software, you have the room to push in for different. Wow.
We're gonna be what
Rabbit trail
separates the men from the boys here. They can go so wrong so quickly.
I'll recenter all those when I come into it later.
Like so. It's a good out. Carry down the hill. Okay, that's not too bad. Carry. Oh!
On a TikTok video, I would totally speed this up because I have limited time. But because I'm trying to fill out as much as I can in a long form video, I'm okay with it being a let's play style, you know? Of you watching the entire round.
Carry.
Oh! In normal speed.
I think that's fine. I don't think that'll roll into the rough. Yeah, it'll take the hill. So the wind.
Secret here. You don't always have to have, I think we talked about this earlier a little bit. You don't always have to have a one-to-one, this is what I said on this shot, so I have to keep this audio. This audio was from a different shot. So I took this video of this. It might have been the same shot, but just later in the video. So I just moved the audio so I can have this video of what I'm trying to tell the story with. Use a separate audio.
I think that's fine. I don't think that'll roll.
Nobody's any the wiser.
Yeah, it'll take the hill. So the wind will carry it to the left, and I'm okay with that. That's on the pin. Get in the hole. Gary, did you see that? This is great. This is...
Double check to make sure my band went through. I always say that I need to tighten up my Autobot so things like that don't come through. It's always that, for whatever reason, that sneaks through that website. I've been better at just being able to ban them pretty quickly, and then it gets rid of it on the chat. Anyway, enough about me. What about you? So
Gary, did you see
okay, so one more time here. There's something comedic here of my reaction. I want to keep as much of my reaction as possible, and I haven't had any kind of humor or whatever. So just about every minute I have found have something to just kind of jolt the viewer out. Depending on your video, it can be a little quicker than that, but so I might do like a exploding head thing here, or not like the actual, that'd be gross, but like the guy fly in, or do like a kaleidoscope effect of me like going into the 6th dimension here.
Gary, did you see that? This is great. This is amazing. Why did I not think of to do this before?
So there is a opportunity for, it's a quick cut. So when I got to this part, I knew it was a quick reaction to set up the joke in a second. So this I might just do a push in, I don't know, to start off this kind of set of gags, but let's do our mango push in here to start this second one with Gary. So it's gonna go from standard.
Gary, did you see that? This is great.
And then here, let's make sure we label it mango. And then here, it's gonna be this really pushed in look. And this is great. Gotta be in paste, just the motion. Goes from 1. Push.
Gary, did you see that? This is great. This is
I'm gonna go back to the regular look. I'll just change this now. And then here, the rest of the joke is...
great. This is amazing. Why did I
not do this from the beginning? I'm gonna copy this push in and see how it looks.
Gary, did you see that? This is great. This is amazing. Why did I not think of to do this before?
I think that's fine. So it's there's not enough time to do something really crazy here before, because you already have a setup and a punchline coming, or this kind of technically is the setup. But I will do, I think, a slow push in here.
Gary, did you see that? This is great.
There's some sort of
see that? This is great. Gary, did you see that? This is great. This is amazing.
So this, I think, has to be further in. Let's do 75. Once again, I'm gonna just do double check how centered I am. Double check my headroom. And it's all based on the previous, so my head is cocked to the side there. Yeah, I think that little tighter close-up will be better.
Gary, did you see that? This is great. This is amazing. Why did I not?
I think this is a little long. I think it needs to stop there. So let's shorten it. Select everything like I showed you guys earlier. Let's see if that makes it kind of pacing-wise a little better. A little tighter.
Gary, did you see that? This is great. This is amazing. Why did I not think of to do this before?
A few moments later.
Oh boy.
So the joke is, the setup is, this is great, this is amazing, why did I never do this before? To
2 moments later.
Oh
Fail.
boy. That did not do what we wanted it to do.
So you can kind of see that coming up here. I think trimming that down feels better.
Get in the hole.
Gary, did you? So now that we've trimmed it up, I don't think we actually need something special here. I think I would rather do, rather than have me look up from the screen, I'd rather just cut to this. Let's see if that works. So we're gonna cut from the beginning this time rather than the end. Select everything, bring it over. It's gonna magnet there.
Get in the hole.
Gary, did you see that?
This is great. This is amazing. Why did I not think of to do this before?
A few.
I like that better. It's that shorter little bump of ba-bump, ba-bump, ba-bump to set up the rest of it. Gary, did you? In fact, I think we could probably go shorter. I think we could go.
Get in the hole.
Gary, did you see that?
This is great. This is amazing. Why did I not think of to do this before?
A few.
Yeah, I think that's better. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the Domino House. House. No, it's not that side. So because everything is mirrored, I always have problems trying to frame things up. So like if my hat is off or my glasses are off or if something's not right, then it's no, it's this side, it's down. It takes me a few seconds. Welcome back to the Domino House. My name is Lux Domino. I'm your Sherpa of streaming. Today we are doing something a little weird here, a little crazy. I need to get a video done for the YouTubes. And I thought, you know what? We're just gonna take a break from golf right now. For those of you who watched our last stream, you probably would be like, yeah, you need it. So I'm gonna show you, and I have been showing you for the past hour and 15 minutes, just a little insight into how I edit my videos, how I think as far as pacing and scripting and comedy and all that. So I think it's been fun for me to show people, maybe just a few of you, handful of you, what I like to do. So yeah, that's what we're doing tonight. Glad you're joining us. Let me know how your week went. Let me know how your weekend is going. You got any cool plans, good, bad, or indifferent? I'd love to hear about them. Love to encourage you. Pray for you today if you need that. Let's jump back into the stream here. It is that button. That button right there. All right. While we were away, we were working on this little bit right here.
Get in the hole! Gary, did you see that? This is great. This is amazing. Why did I not think of to do this before?
A few moments later.
Oh boy. That did not do what we wanted it to do.
So this was originally a longer beat, and we ended up shortening the beat.
That's on the pin. Get in the hole! Gary, did you see that? This is great. This is amazing. Why did I not think?
I'm tempted to make this a progressional bump, 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 but that can be a little too on the nose, a little too hokey to go from wide shot, wide mid shot, mid close, and close.
Gary, did you see that? This is great. This is amazing. Why did I not think of to do this before?
A few moments later.
I think it's fine. I think where it's at is
Oh
fine.
boy. That did not do what we wanted it to do. I think I just play 3 wood here. I think that's the safe play.
So this needs to be a punch in. Because once again, we are trying to make it seem like, even though it's not, we're trying to make it seem like it's one go, one take. Oops. Oh boy. I can tell that I'm not really focused right now. Just the motion. And when we get here, it's a little bit of a punched in look here.
That did not do what we wanted it to do. I think I just play 3 wood here.
Interesting audio thing there.
I think I just play 3 wood. That did not do what we wanted it to do. I think I just play 3 wood here. I think that's the safe play.
Here, I think we can get away with going from wide to mid to close. And we are going to be pairing these choices with music because one, if you can make humor, yes, with the visual and cutaways, but you can also just set the mood and set the tone with the right audio, with the right music behind it.
Oh boy. That did not do what we wanted it to do. I think I just play 3 wood here. I think that's the safe play. I think I just play 3 wood here. I think that's the safe play.
Once again, it's a let's play, so I'm not worried about speeding up
Gary,
those
what
shots.
was that, buddy? I'm really trying to practice getting out of my head from the last holes. We almost made one earlier from this distance.
Do I switch these up now? I like this moment of...
I think that's the safe play.
There's the hit. I'll add some nature and crowd here in a second.
Gary, what was that, buddy? I'm really trying to practice getting out of my head from the last holes.
I think I switched these. So I think I switch this one to this one. And then have the awkward happen here. The awkward cricket.
I'm really trying to...
Let's see if it works with this
I
context.
just play 3 wood here. I think that's the safe play. I'm really trying to... I'm really trying to practice.
This one, I didn't have like a looking right in the camera kind of moment. I just had like me just breathing. So you don't have to have the perfect shot. Sometimes a good enough shot will get the same level of, or whatever you're trying to do for a beat. But I will tighten this up here. Make this happen right, the crickets happen right at the change. Right at the cut.
I'm really
So knowing too that I have a space here to have like that nope, which we will do when we start doing our sound design.
I'm really trying to practice.
I think it's a better
getting
choice
out of
there.
my head from the last holes. Gary, what was that, buddy? We almost made one earlier from this distance.
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
Yeah, baby, come on.
I needed something to bridge the bad shots and finally like a good shots. It's sometimes you can't force it, like, and this might be forcing it using the rock here, but
Buddy, we almost made one earlier from this distance.
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
Almost made one earlier from this distance.
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
Yeah, baby, come on.
so it's still like, okay, the joke is it's gonna miss, right?
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
Yeah, baby, come on.
It could be a little bit longer there, but we're transitioning into the last third, so it needs to kind of dwell less on the previous joke and then just transition quicker.
We almost made one earlier from this distance.
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
Yeah, baby, come on. What was that, buddy? We almost made one earlier from this distance.
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
I think I need to take him further off screen here. So he comes on here. So these are keyframes. This is what you can do when you need to... Gladjo says, hey Lux, how are you doing today? I'm doing well, Gladjo. How are you? Welcome to the stream. We're doing some video editing today. Hope your week went well. Yeah, these are keyframes. So whenever I create a keyframe, you can do it on any of these that have a little stopwatch. These are stopwatches there. It's a little hard to see, but it adds a keyframe right here into this track, and you can manipulate cool beans. You can manipulate whatever parameters, like this is position, you have scale, to do certain things and time it so that you keyframe it so that it's coming in at a certain time. So I like his headroom here. I am going to change, however, his horizontal position to show, I don't want his arm to be completely cut off because I want them to see, like, if someone saw this, it just looks like it's cut off and attached to the side. I want them to know that this is a green screen, or this is a special shot. So I want a little bit of that showing, but it was covering over too much of the actual shot here. And I might squidge it down here. Let's go 95, and then we'll move his head down now, and then his arm over more. Let's see if that screwed up the fly-in.
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
Yeah, baby.
I think that works better.
One earlier from this distance.
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
And with so on this green screen effect, based in the movie, this is from Jumanji. In this scene in Jumanji, the camera is pushing forward. It's a push shot. Because Rock is trying not to have a mental breakdown of what's going on. So it works. The reason I put it there is that it works with the push in, the movement of the camera, the gameplay camera, and him. It's not matched up completely.
From this distance.
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
Yeah,
But
baby,
it
come
works
on.
enough. It works enough that it's not a static, just green screen like you'll see later on here. It kind of is nice, a little nicer than just a static green screen shot.
Yeah, baby, come on.
I think I want to have that. I'm not sure if it's going to show here, because it might be at the end. Yeah, I only have a few more frames of that before it cuts out. So I might have to do, I want a little bit more of the reveal that it went in. And I need like 1 or maybe one more second of it. So I'm gonna go to the very last frame right here. I might need to recenter this as well to make it just a little bit more centered. Yeah, I think that works better. So I'm gonna go to the last frame and then right click on this. Right click on this. So wherever the playhead, which is this marker here that I've been manipulating backward and forward, you can see it move right here. So this is the playhead. This is basically where, yeah, baby, it will play from. So I'm gonna go to the last frame of this clip, right click on the clip, and then have it say add frame hold. And what that'll do is basically take whatever is on that last frame, which might not work because of this guy right here, but it's gonna take that last frame and just, like it says, hold it. It's going to add a frame hold. So it might not work because it's not movement, but I don't have any more. It goes from that shot, because I was holding the turbo button, to just progress further on. It will probably not work to continue that because it's going to crossfade. The gameplay naturally crossfades with going from this hole shot to the next hole shot. So I want to stay and linger on this. So let's see if it...
Don't cry, don't cry.
Yeah, baby, come on. I think that'll be that little just kind of like extra second. Let's see, 50. No, not even a second. I think we can make it longer.
Don't cry, don't cry.
Yeah, baby, come on. I think that's just so that the the audience knows, like, that's what happened. It's a turn. It goes into the hole and it's there, and that's what we're celebrating. If it happens too quick, if someone isn't watching, they can kind of like, well, what happened? Yeah, baby, come on. Saving a par. This is going to be one of those punch-in shots. So we're going to have... I think we're just going to go from the wide shot to the punch in, oops, and then back to the wide shot. I don't think I need to go further in.
Don't cry, don't cry.
Yeah, baby, come on. Saving a par. Saving a par never felt so good. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, baby, come on. Saving a par. Saving a par never felt so good. Right down the chute. That was our best drive so far in the back nine. That felt solid. That felt like it should. So there, it seems like this little shot, I was worried about this earlier too. It seems like this little shot here of the ball landing, it's a reference shot of where it's gonna land. So I need to pull this back, pull this forward, if I can. That might be exactly that first shot. No, there's a little bit there. Or is there? It might not work. Right down the chute. That was our... So what we can do here instead is there's a little bit... We can start this swing at the top of his swing. Let's see if that works. Move this over. And then... Nope. So this is that front bit is what it's going to have to start right there. And then we can just move this down because we have this covered, right? So our A-roll, or depending on what you consider A-roll in this situation, our cutaway, our B-roll is covering over this, so we can manipulate this underneath here and it's going to be fine. Right down the chute.
That was our best
Yeah,
drive.
that needed
so
to be
far in
longer
the back
there.
nine. That felt solid. That felt like it should. Did we just make that? Oh!
So right here, I need to manipulate with keyframes, like we learned earlier. I need to manipulate how close it is here. So we are going to select it, and there will be a scale as well as a position. So scale is going to be what controls the zoom, and then I'll probably have to anchor point. Anchor point is where this zoom is going to be anchored to. So if it's in the middle, it will do the scale from the middle. You can move the anchor point and it will kind of, while it's on its trajectory, it will go to that anchor point. So we're going to set, where we want it at the end. So we are going to center it. Hey, looky, transparent. We are going to scale it so that we have enough scale, maybe 190. And this is a 1440p frame, so there's a little bit of resolution that we can play with when we punch in. Like I talked about earlier with the punching in on a camera shot, you want as much resolution as possible so that when you do punch in, it's still going to be crisp and clear. 1440p, not like 4K. It's a quarter of 4K, quarter or half of 4K. So a little bit less to play with, but I think we need to zoom in to double. That way we can get it up to the center. I'm gonna turn on. Oh, transparency grid's on. I don't know why it's not showing. Normally it will show the transparency grid. It might just because there's not enough. For right now, it's showing just black. Oh, excuse me. I think 0 is going to be enough. So that's roughly the shot that we need. So we're going to end there. All of this information is saved within this keyframe right here. So now I'm going to go back to where I want everything, all the movement to start, which I think like right here as it passes his head might be good. So I'm going to insert a keyframe, and now from here to here is when the movement will happen. So to make this easier on ourselves, we are just going to, on this keyframe, reset everything that we did, and it punches back out, back to normal. So now,
Did we just make that?
you can see that that's where it starts, and that's where this keyframe is where it ends. However, you can see once we hit the keyframe, notice elements that aren't supposed to move. So like the camera in the game is staying stationary. It is technically moving eventually, but you can see some issues with elements that become stationary. This is why we're using the anchor point method as well. If you were to just scale it, like this scale is moving, you'll see that because it starts on a different parameter than what you're scaling to, there will be this kind of odd, hard to say, like right there you can see a shift that it needs to move down. So it's kind of moving down and in. It just feels unnatural, right? So we are going to balance that with an anchor point. So right here, I can manipulate the anchor point instead of the position. So when you use scale and position, you'll always have that kind of awkward, it's trying to do both of those at the same time. But if you set your anchor point to be your final shot, it will then take anchor points pretty much like not, instead of using the x-axis and the y-axis to kind of just in 2 dimensions, it will use the third axis to kind of use that information for your anchor point. So that's probably made no sense. So we're going to actually move our anchor point to be how it moves. Now you can see when it pushes in, it's just a little bit more, how do I say it? Smooth. I guess really is the only way of saying it. It's not trying to do like these things together. It's a little bit more smooth. So we can have it even be more smooth if we take the information from this future where we want it to end up and see what it looks like. Of course, we can't use it because there's not enough information down here. But if this is the same as this, watch what happens when you play it back, or I'll scrub through it. Your anchor point's not moving. It's acting like just a zoom in to be that much more smooth. So let's now use our scale. This might not work because, as you can see right here, it's already zoomed into what we need, so there's no effect. So that's where we would need more information. Let's go. Oops. Boom. Boom. Was that 100? Not 10. We don't need 10. Yeah, what's going on here? 200. 200, and then when we move back, we'll reset it. Yeah, so it was 100. I just had moved the position as well. That's what we were doing. It went all the way back to there. Okay. Add an anchor point. And the cool thing is that you can select both of these these keyframes and tell them to, I don't want you to be linearly going from point A to point B. I want you to move with a little bit of movement. So rather than just a straight line, it's going to be a Bezier line.
Did we just make that?
So you saw that right there, it pushed in and then released. We don't want that necessarily. So with these still connected, we're gonna move. Let's see what happens here.
Did we just make that?
I think it's tough to do this kind of move with the anchor point because, like, typically with, like, I'll do the inverse here.
Did we just make that?
So there it sped up as soon as it hit this one. So you can do your velocities going in are fast or going out are fast.
Did we just make that?
So you can really smooth things out if you want to by just manipulating those. So we are going to ease in. Actually, you know what? We're going to do a continuous. Let's see what that looks like.
Did we just make that?
No, I don't like that either.
Did we just make that?
So the tough thing is, like, with position, if you want to, let's add an ease in and ease out for those, and you'll see the little spline line there start to form. So you can do, like, if it's a position on the x-axis, you can have it's not going to lock into that move until there. Or if you want to do it on the other side, it's going to move to the position right away. All of a sudden, you see the black bar here because it's getting off of the anchor point, right? The anchor point's still trying to set, and all of a sudden you have a position kind of doing something weird. So I don't think we'll use that for the position. We can keep them as ease in and ease out though, because I think we can. Doesn't look like it though. Yeah, that little last bit of getting to the, but it just smooths those motions out. So let's do it instead of on the position. Let's do that on the scale and see if that little bit of easing. So switch it from a linear to a Bezier. That position is still doing it. Move that back to linear. Yeah, it's weird that. So that's still doing it there. And we want it to be flat. There we go. So it smoothed it out on the scale rather than the position. But because it's still anchored to the center, it's not trying to judder the scale as it's trying to scale. If that makes any sense.
Did we just make that?
There's a little bit still of that kind of freaky movement there, but it's for such a little thing. Don't worry about it at all. So here's the full.
Like it should. Did we just make that?
Oh! You only notice it because this is here. So if it was just the camera in the middle, you wouldn't notice that push, but because there's fixed items on the angle itself, you're noticing those move. So it's going up, and then it stalls, and then it goes kind of further up. So that's why you notice
Did we
it.
just make that? Oh!
It's smoother than it was. and that's-
Heartbreak City. There's no way.
Ooh, a little there.
Break City. There's no.
Those little things need to be fixed now.
Heartbreak City. There's no.
You can still hear it. I might actually, instead of doing a fade. Oh, those are connected. Let's unconnect them. And then just cut in the audio.
Break City. There's no.
Yeah. And then we cannot forget to connect these again. Just in case we move one. If we move the video or the audio where we select one video channel and it doesn't, yeah. Sometimes if these become if they become ungrouped, if you are further down the line and you're trying to fix a timing thing, if they're not connected, then one won't be selected, and I've had that multiple times. All of a sudden, later down the line, when you get to this point, it's messed up.
Heartbreak City. There's no way we're not hitting driver on this hole. 4.
Right there, you hear it too.
This hole. 4.
I wonder if it, let's see.
That's fine.
I wonder if at some point I had everything selected when I adjusted a previous clip. I think that's what's happening here. Because it happened to this one and this one and this one.
Diddy. There's no way we're not hitting driver on this hole. Par 4?
But par 4?
Especially? You kidding me? Not hitting driver on this hole. Par 4? Especially? You kidding me?
So, I think I can fix what happened here. Let's take this down. Let's move it.
Par 4? Especially? You.
Let's clip this out. Move it forward and see where it starts here. I think par 4 is right here.
Par 4? A par 4?
A par 4.
A par 4? Especially? You. Driver on this hole. A par 4? Especially? You kidding me?
So we can move this down as well. Hopefully that's the only hiccup that we find.
There's no way we're not hitting driver on this hole. A par 4? Especially? You kidding me? That's fine. I'm totally fine with that outcome. I think we can get par, ladies and gentlemen. Nope.
Make sure to save.
Well,
Okay, so here's...
I think we can get par, ladies and gentlemen. Nope. Ladies and gentlemen. Nope. Well,
This needs to be separated.
well,
No, it starts right here.
nope.
No.
I think we can get par, ladies and gentlemen. Nope. Well, okay, that's doing it too much. That just
Well, we're waiting.
that's just painful right there.
So there were a few audio artifacts that I didn't hear before because I was listening to it on my speakers rather than my headphones. They might be masked over by music. They might not. So
There's no way we're not hitting driver on this hole. A par 4, especially? You kidding me? That's fine. I'm totally fine with that outcome. I think we can get par, ladies and gentlemen. Nope.
so let's fade out a little bit there.
Gentlemen. Nope. Well,
So we're gonna fade in, fade out here, just enough to take the harshness off of the entrances and exits of the audio.
well, okay, that's okay, that's okay, that's doing it too much. That okay, that's doing it too much. That okay, that's doing it too much. That
Right there at the end there too.
that's doing it too much. That just
Well, we're waiting.
that's just painful right there.
So I think that will work based on.
That's just
It's not a huge.
painful right there.
I mean, that's not a huge. Once you put in music there, so for instance, let's just test it. Oh, speaking of music, YouTube Music decided to poop. Actually, let's pause that anyway because I'm gonna add music here on this side. So I have a bin. The bins. I have a bin of music, and one of them I think will work really well here. It's kind of like a jokey kind of thing.
Doing it too much. That
Just
So it's kind of like the meme song. I don't remember which meme it is, but
right down the chute.
let's add it to.
Did we just make that? Oh! Heartbreak City. There's no way we're not hitting driver on this hole. A par 4, especially. You kidding me? That's fine. I'm totally fine with that outcome. I think we can get par.
So I think it starts right here. It's funny to come in right on the bump bump, but I think we can tighten up the fade a little
Fine
bit.
with that outcome. I think we can get par, ladies and gentlemen. Nope. Well, okay, that's doing it too much. That just
Well,
So I want that, just that initial bump 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 bump, and then we'll just cut it and replay it here. So let's see if that's a good cut spot.
I think we can get par, ladies and gentlemen. Nope. Well, okay, that's doing it too much. That
So we want it before that cymbal swell. And we're gonna take this fade off and see if it tracks together well as it transitions here.
totally fine with that outcome. I think we can get par, ladies and gentlemen. Nope. Well, okay, that's doing it too much. That just
So there's a little bit of a pause here, and we can go straight into the bump bump. I think it also is one frame there.
come. I think we can get par, ladies and gentlemen. Nope. Well, okay, that's doing it too much. That just
well, we're waiting.
that's just painful right there.
So essentially, it's just like sometimes you'll find music that's really, really well suited for this moment that you're looking for. The other one that I'm thinking of is a meme sound effect. And my camera is covering over all this small type font. Small font type font. Yeah, I mean, other silly music, this won't make it work. Like, this is the elevator music
I was gonna say.
from that meme. That won't work well there. It needs to be kind of circusy and kind of like something naughty is happening, you know? Like a kid stealing a cookie or something. So I think that's how much I think I was mentioned earlier that you can use visual effects to create a tone and cutaways and all that. But if you don't have the perfect cutaway or the perfect joke or whatever, then use music as that mood shifter. To always use music to do that. But on specific things that you are just like not sure, think of a music cue that you can do.
That's fine. I'm totally fine with that outcome. I think we can get par, ladies and gentlemen. Nope.
So that fade in was a little too late here. Just gonna fade it in a little bit quicker.
That's fine. I'm totally fine with that outcome. I think we can get par, ladies and gentlemen. Nope. Well, okay, that's doing it too much. That just
Well, we're waiting.
that's just painful right there.
So I might want to just cut instead of fading out here.
We're waiting.
That's just painful right there.
Cut it out here as just a drop off.
We're waiting.
That's just painful right there.
Still a little bit too.
Waiting.
That's just painful right there.
Well, We're waiting.
That's just painful right there.
Let's just bring that up a little bit.
Well, we're waiting.
That's just painful right there.
So because the fade is taking information from, it's not just taking information from this cut point right here. It's taking information from this cut and a little bit after it to fade it. So like when you have a crossfade, you want this to crossfade with this. It takes information from this to then crossfade it together. A fade is doing the same thing. If you didn't want that, you can automate a actual volume drop right there to be just a cut in volume. Or you can have it be a longer
Right there.
a longer tail without having to worry about, oh, do I need to have this much of the clip so that it cuts off here and not use information after the clip to try and fade it in. All of that is just, you learn that that's what it's doing, and so you learn a way around it, but
It's just painful right there.
bum bum. Let's see if
Painful
there's
right there.
So I think there's enough information here that
Painful
it can
right
just
there.
it can just naturally bump and fall off. Sometimes it's nice to have that exact cutoff. Especially on faster paced videos, you don't want fades because it ruins the timing of it. But coming into this and then fading into whatever new music we have, I think that'll be fine.
That's fine. I'm totally fine with that outcome. I think we can get par, ladies and gentlemen. Nope. Well, okay, that's doing it too much. That just
Well, we're waiting.
that's just painful right there.
Yeah, I think that works. And then going into this,
All right, back
putt-
to even par.
the putt sinks. There's a little bit of artifact in here.
That's just painful right there. All right, back to even. Back to even.
These two things are connected. We don't want them to be connected. Changing the audio.
All right, back to even par.
So I'm gonna have a little bit of each of these.
All right, back to even par.
All right.
All right, back to.
But with that little bit of
All right, back to even par.
crowd noise, I'm going to essentially crossfade these two together. Where, like we said, it's taking one from one, and then
All right, back to even par.
with the music starting up there, it's going to cover that. It's going to be fine.
With a trackball, with 2 holes to go, can I? I forgot what I was gonna say. What we need right now is to not screw up. That's the only thing I'm concerned with. Just like the real course, positive thoughts going into the swing. I'm fine with that. Kick left though. Yeah.
So he's fine with that, but how
Thing I'm
much did he
concerned
show?
with. Just like the real course, positive thoughts going into the swing. I'm fine with that. Kick left though. Yes. A little bit left. All right, if that's our eagle putt, that's perfect. Remember, Lux, we are just trying to break even. But you get aggressive. Like as soon as you see some success, you're like, okay, we can do more of this. Because I've been leaving things short, I'm gonna not do as much as I normally would. Not take off as much on the distance as I normally would.
I think I can cut that up a little bit more.
Of this, because I've been leaving things short, I'm gonna not take off.
So we can move this back and then fill that in there. I think that'll work.
more of this. Because I've been leaving things short, I'm gonna not take off as much on the distance as I normally would. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go.
So, yeah, there's some interesting audio going on there.
As much on the distance as I normally would. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, what happened to this? There was audio here.
One hole to go, ladies and gentlemen.
I wonder if it got deleted when I did a move like that. See those little things, if you, yeah, it's quicker to select them all that way, but if you miss something, if something's not linked to the video that you deleted, it can be a little messy. I'll add the Muzak back. Bum 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 bum. All right, final little stretch here of this first little edit. If you're just joining us, welcome to the Domino House. My name is Lux Domino. I'm your Sherpa of streaming. Today we're doing something a little different. I needed to get this video edited, and I thought I would take a little break from golf and show you guys kind of a glimpse into my mind as far as what I do for my videos. If you're not joining us on TikTok or following our YouTube shorts, you are woefully missing out on some fun content. So there's the socials right there. I don't think it triggered on YouTube. Oh yeah, it did. So I think I can change up how this transitions here.
On the distance as I normally would. Come on, let's go.
That little, I can drop it off quicker there. And then I start putting right here.
Come on, let's go.
So, yeah, I think I might have to recut that Pelosi thing. Because I lost the audio on it. I'll bring it up here. And then bring the audio here. I'm gonna copy the transform and then paste the transform. Then here, actually, you know what? I can just, if this is selected, I can just bring it. No, I can't. Now if I, oops, it's a little bit further than that, I guess. Okay, so that's the out. So now if I bring it in, nope, still doesn't. Weird. What if I go into replace with clip? Forbid. Well, let me copy and paste the attributes here. Time remapping? And then just lob it off here. Keep the audio going, but then lob off the video here. I think that'll be fine. Oh, so here's where I had it. Yeah, checks here. Hey, Mrs. D. So that's what I was referencing when I did that live. So there's actually two keyframes here. They're just so close together that it's not showing up as two keyframes. So I'm actually going to move this to be there. Move my marker there. I think she gets thought that she did more of like a vertical one eventually, but I may just be misremembering that. I might need to cut this as well. I'll bring this to applause here.
One hole to go.
It might not be the right applause track, but I'll do it anyway. And then bring this up to the SFX. And then bring the initial bit down as well.
One hole to go, ladies and gentlemen. Will Lux melt down? Will he keep his cool? Find out now. I'm in.
Yeah, I like that. Keeping the applause going that long, but because there might be a shift in music and to kind of mask over that too. Oh man. I might come back to the timing of that and just because it might need to cut like right here. As I stop clapping. Let's try that here a second.
One hole to go, ladies and gentlemen.
I can be quieter here. I mean, this really isn't. There's no information there.
Come on, let's go. One hole to go, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, I think it can probably be half that. Still get rid of that because there's no information there.
Come on, let's go. One hole to go, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, see, now it's not. I think it has to be all the way back.
Let's go. One hole to go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I think that cut.
Will Lux melt down?
Then I can bring this further back. That's at 0.
One hole to go, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, it's quiet there.
One hole to go, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, we can probably delete that.
One hole to go, ladies and gentlemen.
And do it further up here. See if that works.
One hole to go, ladies and gentlemen. Will Lux melt down? Will he keep his cool? Find out now. I am in the mood to play it safe right now.
So now we have to then bring this back so it fades out.
He keep his cool? Find out now. I am in the mood to play it safe right now. I'm going 3-wood. Keeping the swing short, but staying short of that bunker. And I've got a full 7 in. Yeah,
Yeah, so it got rid of the Griffin clip as well. Peter Griffin clip. Weird. I wonder what change I made that got rid of it. I think it was this one. And I think I cut it short here.
7 in. Yeah, more like
I think I faded it out as well.
7 in. Yeah, more like a choked 6. Yeah,
I think then I moved this
in. Yeah, more like a choked
Yeah.
6. And I've got a
something
full
so
7
stupid, but
in. Yeah, more like a. Yeah.
yeah, I mean just those little It's a stupid Peter Griffin thing, but when I did it at the moment in the stream, I was like, oh yeah, that sounded like Peter from Family Guy.
More like a choked. More like a choked sip.
And then it's not enough to have just an image. It has to be like at least somewhat cropped on my head so that it actually looks convincing here. Save that. Oh, it's gonna take too long to render. I thought it was just that in to out. I don't know why I'm yawning. Yeah, we'll cancel that render. I thought the in to out was like right here. That's alright.
More like a choked 6. More like a choked 6. That's right on line. Just remember your Lamaze breathing, Lux. Can we get under par? Just remember your Lamaze breathing, Lux.
So I think I faded it out here.
Lamaze breathing, Lux. Can we get...
Yeah, like that.
Just remember your Lamaze breathing, Lux. Can we get under par for 18 holes using a trackball? Hit the hole! Hit the hole! Come on, baby.
Yeah, and it kind of silenced my claps there.
Come on, baby. A trackball. We got 2 under par. Wow. So, what did we learn? Get in the hole! Come on, baby.
I like this little jump cut here.
Come on, baby. A trackball. We got 2 under par. Wow.
Well, what's up, bud? What is he here? It's been a while since I've done that one here. Let's copy that. Paste. Not team time remapping, just motion.
Come on, baby. A trackball. We got 2 under par. Wow. So, what did we learn? Using it.
Huh.
So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2K25 can off. Wow. Under par. Wow. So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2K.
I think I might, since there's no information here anyway.
So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2K20.
I might do a J-cut here.
Wow.
So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2K.
Yeah, I think that J cut works. Let's just double check with the rest of it.
Wow. So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA.
Yeah, I think, however, I will have to push in further here. I don't know if this is too... Wow. I have not been doing that, and should have been doing that. Should have been changing all of these. I think I have to go further in, is what I'm saying. Not that much, though. How about 68? How about 65 then?
Come on, baby. A trackball. We got 2 under par. Wow.
I think I can go... I can split this up, maybe. I think that's what I'll end up doing here.
A trackball. We got...
I can just get rid of this. I'll make this the push in, big push in here. No, I can't go any further. I have to change. That.
on, baby.
And we have to kind of center it here.
Come on, baby.
Yeah, better.
A trackball. We got...
Yep, so let's take this, copy. I typically don't do this. I typically keep it consistent with the rest, but consistent with the other cuts that we've made already. But I think I have to... let's turn on guides here and see this previous shot. The right bridge of my glasses is on that center line. So when we pull out, it's essentially the same shot, or you're not seeing a side to side.
On,
shift.
baby. A trackball. We got 2 under par. Wow. So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2.
Yeah, I mean, what if we went to 60? From 65 to 60.
A trackball. We got 2 under par. Wow. So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA Tour.
Yeah, I don't mind that. But we do have to pull it down just a hair.
Wow. So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA Tour. So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2K25.
Yeah, I think that works. I think it's enough of a difference in between. I'm tempted to do something here with trying to get the transition to feel more special, but
So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2K25 can offer. So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2K25 can offer greater precision, especially for lining up putts. Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2K25 can offer greater precision.
I wonder if I make the J cut longer.
Wow. So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA. Wow.
There's certainly room here for it.
Wow. So, what did PGA Tour 2.
So that would be the end of it.
Wow. So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2K25 can offer.
Yeah, I think that works even better. A little bit longer of a J cut
Offer
there, I
greater
think helps.
precision.
Oh, so it's called a J cut. So if you imagine on the timeline, I don't know if I've explained this before. If you move your audio, well, for you watching this, it's gonna be mirrored. For a J cut, you're moving your audio before the video turns. So like what we did here, it makes a J here to here. And then if you were to have the audio the previous audio continue when the new image is shown, that's an L cut. So it makes a J, it makes an L or a J compared, depending on what you're doing. It's just where the extra information is, the bit of extra information. That's all it is.
Wow. So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA.
I think I can push in here. Yeah, I think I can add a little bit more zoom here.
Wow. So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2K20.
Does that feel good?
A trackball. We got 2 under par. Wow. So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2K25 can offer.
I mean, meh.
We got 2 under par. Wow. So, what did we learn?
I'm okay. Because it's such a short little outro there, I'm okay with having way more headroom than I typically have. I'm okay with that.
Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2K25 can offer greater precision, especially for lining up putts and blasting drives down. Offer greater precision, especially.
So we're gonna do push here. It's gonna be a mango. 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 Copy the mango. Paste the mango.
Wow. So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2K25 can offer greater precision, especially for lining up putts and blast.
I'm not entirely sure if this one is the same. So I'm gonna copy this and paste it here. I might have done something different. Oh yeah, wow. Going from that to this.
So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2K20.
That's a bit tight there, Lux. You all right over there? Watson's very concerned. Calm down,
Par.
Watts.
Wow. So, what did we learn? Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2K25 can offer greater precision, especially for lining.
Yeah, I don't think that that's right. Yeah. Headroom needs to go up a little bit here. Maybe not that much.
Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2K25 can offer greater precision, especially for lining up putts and flat. Using a trackball in PGA Tour 2K25 can offer greater precision, especially for lining up putts and blasting drives down the fairway like a surgeon. It allows you to use your whole hand.
I mean, this is just something silly, but let's do a cut and then let's take this, copy, paste. And then we're gonna do side over here.
Like a surgeon.
But it has to be further in than that so that it feels more special here. Everybody wants to be made feel special.
Especially for lining up putts and blasting drives down the fairway like a surgeon. It allows you to use your whole hand or both hands, giving you better control and
It's something stupid, and I'll think of like a... I had a friend that always used to do that, and it would make a snap sound. Pop, 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 pop.
PGA Tour 2K25 can offer greater precision, especially for lining up putts and blasting drives down the fairway like a surgeon. It allows you to use your whole hand or both.
I mean, it looks like I'm having some sort of seizure.
It allows you to use your whole hand.
I don't know what I'm gonna do there for the audio.
Both
for that.
hands, giving you better control and accuracy with small, precise movements, all without cramping your hands around a controller. Over time,
I wonder if cramping got choked there.
all without cramping your hands around a controller.
There's kind of a little artifact there, but
Precise movements, all without cramping your hands. Cramping your hand. Cramping your hand. Cramping your hands around a controller. Over time, all without cramping your hands.
I don't know how to fix it. I mean, I could try.
Without cramping your.
Yeah, it's tough because it was where the mic kind of, or the limiter kind of.
All without cramping your hands.
Yeah, I don't like that.
All without cramping your hands around a controller. Over time,
It is what it is. There's no way of fixing that audio now, so it's like, no big deal, right? Not everything can be perfect all the time. But then we need to reset this. Going from this. That might be a bit close, but we'll find out here. Playing back to
giving you
back.
better control and accuracy with small, precise movements, all without cramping your hands around a controller. Over time, you could totally fine-tune the
works.
trackball to match the precision of a mouse without needing the desk space a mouse swing requires.
However, this is something that I'll get into here in a second after my break. When you're repositioning shots like this is the widest shot, so you can't do anything about that. I was just where I was. But to make sure that everything is centered, it may be, like when you watch your markers, it may be that the nose or the whatever feature you're trying to line up is on this side or that side of the center line. But what you're really looking for is proportionally your shoulder space. So right now, this right shoulder has more shoulder space, and it will push, according to the center, it will push my face over to the left. However, when you're going from one shot to another, when you're trying to match up what's center and what's not, right here, it looks different because the black curtain is over here on the left-hand side of the frame, and it makes it look like this space is the edge of the frame, but it's not. There's extra right here, so it's balanced.
Controller. Over time, you could
When
totally
you're pushed in, does the space here, is it equal amounts? Excuse me. Is it equal amounts on both sides? So it might feel like, oh, I'm so far over on the line, like if I'm using the bridge of my nose as the center mark, but I'm leaning with my body or twisting my face in such a way that it's not straight locked on, like I'm a little bit turned. So my body is one way, my head is turned another, you're gonna get that. So if it looks a little off, for instance, coming from this shot to the next shot
without cramping your hands around a controller. Over time, you could totally fine tune
this space feels a little that way. So moving that down helps.
the controller. Over time, you could totally fine tune the trackball to match the
Like I said earlier, there's not a perceivable, it's less perceivable to make shots push in and out if there's little micro changes. But if the next shot is too similar framing wise to the previous one, if it's left just a little bit or not a lot of, if it's not intentionally placed in the frame, you're going to be able to tell. It's really easy to pick up on stuff like
the
that.
desk space.
So right here, I'm going to my head then tilts back to this part of the frame and has balanced out my head starting to the left of the frame. As I get further on in the take, it balances back out to the right and then to the left. So that's why you cannot solely look at your head as a marker for the center. If you're wearing a necklace, or if you're wearing like something on your coat or whatever, or I have learned to go for the shoulders. Even right now, this shoulder space, I'm moving too much. So you kind of have to, for the whole take, what looks good and balanced and what doesn't.
Desk space, a mouse swing
A
requires.
little bit of a dance.
However,
Cut that, however.
However, it's just not practical for most players. Controllers are portable, and the game was designed with controller mechanics a mouse swing requires. However, it's just not practical for most players. Controllers are portable, and the game was designed with controller mechanics in mind. To get consistent, require a form of some kind, and investing in a lap.
I'm hearing a lot more room noise there than I was in the other clips.
Requires. However, it's just not practical for most players. Controllers are
I mean, granted, my microphone like this is, 14 inches away, so it's picking up more room noise than I want it to. But the plugin that I use to get rid of room noise, I think right there, it just might not be enough. There might not be enough of that. So we can do one of two things. We can do a denoise. Sometimes that works on that specific clip. Like I said, we don't really want to get into specific clip adjusting. If it's going to be the same for a bunch of different clips, then just do it on the channel strip. But for this specific clip, here's the reference.
Over time, you could totally fine-tune the trackball to match the precision of a mouse without needing the desk space a mouse swing requires. However, it's just not practical for most players. Controllers are portable, and the game was designed with controller mechanics in form of some kind, and investing in a lap-sized fight stick with a roller ball.
So it might not be a noise that gets it. It might be... I don't know if I still have that deverb plugin. Yeah, de-reverb. It might be the deverb that cuts it out better. because it's not necessarily noise like artifact noise, it's the reverb of the room that you're hearing.
Match the precision of a mouse without needing the desk space a mouse swing requires. However, it's just not practical for most players. Controllers are portable, and the game was designed with controller mechanics in mind. To get consistent results using a trackball, you still require a tabletop platform of some kind, and investing in a mouse swing requires. However, it's just not practical for most players. Controllers are portable, and the game was designed with controller mechanics in mind. To get
I'll listen to it turned off or bypassed and then back with it.
the precision
Turn
of a
it
mouse without needing the desk space a mouse swing requires. However, it's just not practical for most players. Controllers are portable, and the game a mouse swing requires. However, it's just not practical for most players. Controllers are portable, and the game was designed with controller mechanics in mind.
The difficulty you have though is a lot of times your audio is only as good as its source. So if you didn't deal with something at the source, my microphone being so far away from my mouth, picking up Mrs. D chopping vegetables in the other room. We're still doing veggies and hummus, yeah?
Yes, you can. I was gonna make a nice hot soup just to help my son.
Oh, okay, yeah. That sounds good for you. You excited about that?
Yeah.
So Mrs. D's chopping vegetables in the kitchen. Because the mic is so far away from my mouth, probably two of these and a half, so at least 12 inches, maybe probably more like 15 to 20. More things are getting in than my voice, so my voice is competing with the microphone. The closer I get, the less room noise you will hear. So if I can get that right at the source, I can turn my gain down. When you get closer to a microphone, your signal gets louder. So I can get really close, and then I have to adjust my volume of my voice so it doesn't blow out the speakers there, or the gain. And then everything else will be quieter than your main signal. When you do it afterwards in post, you lose a lot of not just what you're hearing in the room, but you lose a lot from your voice as well. Potentially. So you can hear artifacting in your voice. You can hear... Is that hiss from the audio, from the music? No, it's not. All of a sudden, where did that hiss come from? This is odd. I think it was always there. I just couldn't hear it because of the audio. That's weird. When you're trying to remove certain things from in post-production, trying to remove things from your vocal track, it might take out some things from your voice too, because it's not as dialed in. You have to really dial it in specifically to be looking for... See, that's weird too. Now it might be just yeah, that's weird. It might just be a weird gain thing that Wavelink is doing now. Yeah, so looking for that kind of stuff in your audio track might be a bit layers.
Controllers are portable,
Off-putting.
and the game was designed with controller mechanics in mind. To get consistent results using a trackball, you still require a tabletop platform of some kind, and investing in a lap-sized without needing the desk space a mouse swing requires. That's not practical for most players. Controllers are portable, and the game was designed with controller mechanics in mind. To get consistent results using a trackball, you still require a tabletop platform of some kind, and investing in a
So I used the same channel strip effects plugin up here, but just on that specific clip, and it does clean it up quite a bit.
needing the desk space a mouse swing requires.
So you might, I mean, if a plugin's not working just one time, think about using it either again in the same chain or on, like especially in Premiere, you can use the audio track mixer chain for one, and then specifically go into the problem clips that you have and deal with it there.
However, it's just not
Say again? Yeah.
practical.
Yeah, good tip there. Mrs. D thought it was a good tip at least. Sometimes that can be kind of a you do too much and you can end up messing up your edit. So only do it when you really need to. Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break and I'll be right back. Seem to refresh my drink there. Just a little drink refresher. How are you, my friends? Welcome. If you're just joining us, welcome to the Domino House. My name is Lux Domino. I'm your Sherpa streaming today. We are finishing up a video that we have been wanting to get out to you guys because it's a necessity. However, we'll need to wait even. I'm gonna try and get 4 to 5 videos done, and then good boy, Watson. Watson has not eaten his din-din, which is technically his breakfast. He did not eat his breakfast, so now he's choosing to eat it, I guess. Good job, buddy. I'm gonna put out like a slew of 4 or 5 videos. That way, when they all publish on YouTube, you can get better click-through rate based on going from one to the other to the other to the other, so people can just binge the. And if they're all 10 minutes long, then 5 times 10, 50 minutes. So you get that much more potential for longer retention, watch time. So that's what I'm working on today. One of these videos is our, if you remember a couple weeks ago, our trackball episode. And I'm just finishing up, tightening up the basic edit now, and then then the fun stuff comes in, the creative fun stuff of how can I make it, you know, music, zany sound effects, video effects, if any of that. So if you have not joined us on our socials, they're in the chat right now, at Lux Domino, both on TikTok and YouTube. And just feel free to go over there, join us, follow us. It would help immensely to get our content out there. But you can kind of see in past videos, our style is it is a very specific style as far as humor goes and as far as visuals and sound. So I want that branding and style to then move with our long form content as well. So that's what we're doing tonight. If you tuned in to see me continue to fail at ranked, you're not going to see it tonight. But if you're new to the channel, my name is Lux. I'm a family-friendly streamer. Right now, I've been playing a little bit of PGA Tour 2K25. Next week, as the new Warzone, or not new, I guess old, the Verdansk Reloaded comes out. I'll be jumping on that just for nostalgia, if not anything else. But we'll be jumping back over to Call of Duty, I think, for a little bit, and then yeah, we do sports and shooters a lot of times. So glad you're here. Let me know how your week went. Let me know if you're doing anything special or fun for the weekend. Good, bad, or indifferent. I'd love to hear from you. I encourage you, pray for you if you need that. Let's jump back into the edit. One final push here, and I think we can at least get it publishable by the end of the stream. So let's do it. Let's get back into it. Boom. So we are at the end. We're at the end of the edit here. And we just talked about centering and all that.
Players. Desk space a mouse swing requires. However, it's just not practical for most players. Controllers are portable, and the game was designed with controller mechanics in mind. To get consistent results using a trackball, you still require a tabletop platform of some kind, and investing in a lap-sized fight stick with a rollerball for couch players is on par with the cost of a custom controller. Plus, adapting to a trackball.
I think I'm going to add an additional push there. It was a good enough take that I didn't really have to do it again, or even in post here mash up two different takes. So that's good.
Cost of a custom controller. Plus, adapting.
Boom, and then paste. We're gonna just do a
Form of some
subtle
kind,
push in here.
and investing in a lap-sized fight stick with a rollerball for couch players is on par with the cost of a custom controller. Plus, adapting to it.
You can also just take out that, since you're cutting anyway, just take out a little bit of that pause. We did that earlier. You can kind of see it's a little bit tighter there.
For couch players is on par with the cost of a custom controller. Plus, adapting to a
Sometimes that can feel like that though, that it's just a little too much.
stick with a rollerball for
Doesn't feel
couch
natural.
players is on par with the cost of a custom controller. Plus, adapting to
Were you talking to us, Mrs. D?
Sorry about that long noise.
Oh, no worries.
couch players is on par with the cost of a custom controller. Plus, adapting to a trackball does take.
Yeah, I can immediately tell the difference when I cut to that as far as the plugin. Just the clear. Deverb should be off. Yeah. Clear that.
And investing in a lap-sized fight stick with a rollerball for couch players is on par with the cost of a custom controller. Plus, adapting to a trackball does take time and practice that most people just don't want to put in. It's just not a one-size-fits-all solution.
And then we'll come back out to the main wide angle look.
Not a one-size
Oh.
fits all solution. At the end of the day, most players just want to relax and play a few rounds. For those looking to improve in ranked matches or tournaments, pro or custom controllers are probably the better option.
So I'm fine with this pause right here. it seems pretty
Play a few
natural.
rounds. For those looking to improve in ranked matches or tournaments, pro or custom controllers are probably the better option.
But I want to tighten up this guy.
But I'll admit, using that
Because it's a shift. Like, you're no longer presenting information that you just saw. It's shifting to a mood or a feeling or a... how to describe it. Is there two? Huh. I didn't know I put that on there twice. Weird.
controllers are probably the better option. But I'll admit, using that...
So there it's a little bit choppy. Better option.
Probably the better option. But I'll admit, using that...
And it might look a little weird.
Custom controllers are probably the better option. But I'll admit, using that track...
So it might look a little weird to go from an open mouth to a buh. You can see it here, open mouth. The next thing is that. If you can, try and match them up as best as possible.
The better option. But I'll admit, using that track...
But you don't have to.
In ranked matches or
Because you're
tournaments,
punching in.
pro or custom controllers are probably the better option. But I'll admit, using that track...
There's a little bit of something there, audio-wise.
Tournaments, pro or custom controllers are probably the better option. But I'll admit, using that trackball was one of the most...
Kind of lost that B, the butt. We
Controllers are probably the better option. But I'll admit, using that trackball was...
Yeah, it's better. I'm gonna turn my ears down for music, stream music.
Or tournaments, pro or custom controllers are probably the better option. But I'll admit, using that trackball was one of the most fun and challenging experiences I've had in golf games in the last 15 years. The ergonomic...
We'll do a cut there, just to keep the pacing from getting too slowed down. And we're kind of in this lull of punch in, pull out, punch in, pull out. Oops. Copy. Paste.
Controllers are probably the better option. But I'll admit, using that trackball was one of the most fun and challenging experiences I've had in golf games in the last 15 years. Ergonomic experience and the
You got messed up there, the ergonomic experience got swallowed.
The ergonomic experience and the tactile...
So this one can go back to wide shot, which is the blue. So I'm always also aware of if I'm doing the same punch in, pull out, just vary it enough.
The ergonomic experience and the tactile
So that
feedback
it's
was
not
a blast.
noticeable.
I get why mouse players prefer to play that way. It's a whole new level of...
I'm gonna do it right here.
The ergonomic experience and the tactile feedback was a blast. I get...
So we're gonna push in a lot more here. Copy and paste. But then we're gonna push into like a 62. Watch the shoulder, watching the shoulders.
Last 15 years. The ergonomic experience and the tactile feedback was a blast. I get why mouse players prefer to play that way. It's a whole new level of control compared to a standard controller.
And then we can release back. Or just do a subtle and then a release further back. I'll probably end up doing the first. So let's see what 60 looks like. It started out as 62, 50. So if we do the middle, we meet in the middle and do like a 58. And then 938 for the center. Not that far. headroom to make it make sense. So just that little pop out here. It's going to need to go a little bit further to the left. Maybe not. This probably needed to go further to the left. Once again, if I'm watching something other than the shoulders, I might get. See right here, the general area of his face, of my face, his face, of the subject's face, is in these two kind of. It's in this center plane, but if you get outside of that, it's now favoring more this side. So you can use objects in the background as well. So like Mrs. D's chairs right here. I don't know why I didn't tuck it in. So you're looking for like a similar, from one frame to another, this last frame, how much gap is there between my chin, my jaw line and that object? If that matches, then it's in the same spot. Like, so I'm going from here to here and it's just going down a bit. So vertically, it's going down. Hard to explain, I guess, on screen, but so now the shoulders are more balanced. And when I tilt the head, it feels like it's not as... Man, this has been the same song. Let's switch to 1994. And then when you switch to a different frame, it feels like if the frame is the head this way, I try not to move my head that much when I'm talking like that in those instances, just so it matches up better. Copy this, paste it here, and then we'll go to 56. Better. Feels a little bit more natural there.
Compared to a standard controller. It was as close to a one-to-one input experience.
But making sure that when you don't cut the camera angle, cut to a different angle, and then have there be a pause. You want that camera angle to snap and punch with the audio. Because then the camera angle feels like it was for nothing. The switch was for nothing.
Tactile feedback was a blast. I get why mouse players prefer to play that way.
See how the audio is just right there after the change?
Compared to a standard controller. It was as close to a one-to-one input experience I've had golfing when not on an actual golf course. I felt more connected with each of my shots than ever before.
And then coming in for this, we'll move back to the wide shot. So full wide now. So we went from tight, little less tight, back to the full wide.
Ever before. I may even revisit this with a standard arcade trackball on a Twitch shots than ever before.
There's a little bit of a mouth noise there and I don't like it.
With each of my shots than ever before. I may even revisit this with a standard arcade trackball on a Twitchiversary or subathon stream down the line. And I'll be excited to
I'll be excited. Once again, you're showing emotion. So you want to, oftentimes, not every time, not a hard and fast rule, but pretty much a hard and fast rule that you can always know when you're showing emotion on camera, you want to see that emotion. Unless it's a whole body emotion and the whole body is your context, push in as much as you can to highlight. So right here, it's just dull
Twitchiversary
narrative.
or subathon stream down the line, and I'll be excited to try it.
So I'm smiling, my mood changed. I want to push in to highlight that as much as I can. Reframe here.
Arcade
And you can see that there's mixed takes there.
trackball on a Twitchiversary or subathon stream down the line, and I'll be excited to try it.
I can cut that a little bit shorter and make it a little less jarring.
On a Twitchiversary or subathon stream down the line, and I'll be excited to try it. That's how much I enjoyed this experience.
And I'm okay when it's just information, 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 information. Mom Boss coming in. Hey, Lux. Hey, Mom Boss. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome to the rare editing stream that we have on stream sometimes. How was your week?
Come here.
Good to see you.
Watson, come here.
Waddy, are you being naughty? You go see Mama.
Come here.
You go get Mama. Long week, yeah. What made it long? Just the grind of the week. Good to see you though. I'm glad I can
Experience.
be a part of your weekend here.
With this experience. And if you enjoyed this,
Oh no, you got sick. That's no good. Mrs. D also got sick. Again, I think we both had COVID during. Was that 2 months ago? During the winter at some point, and then Mrs. D went out of the country, and I think when she was on the plane coming back, she got something, and now she has something else. So she's been perpetually sick, which is a bummer.
experience. And if you enjoyed this video,
So here, because this is this section here is the emotional shift. Been sick off and on since the first week of January. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
I even revisit this with a standard arcade trackball on a Twitchiversary or subathon stream down the line, and I'll be excited to try it. That's how much I enjoyed this experience.
So anytime you have on camera your subject is emotion is coming through, and it takes a little bit to notice the good emotion moments, and then just like oh yeah, that's just good camera presence or whatever.
Did this with a standard arcade track.
So in this section, I'm comfortable. But I'm not showing like anything special.
This with a standard arcade trackball on a Twitchiversary or subathon stream down the line, and I'll be excited to try it.
But that little twist of, but I'll be excited to try it. It's something new and something different than what you've been seeing. So highlight that as much as you can.
Subathon stream down the line, and I'll be excited to try it. That's how much I enjoyed this experience. And if you enjoyed this video and want to help me keep the shades on and the putts dropping, hit the like button and be sure.
I'm gonna grab this before I forget it. Where was it? Here? One of these had. I thought one of these recent ones had a clear plugin. Yeah, there it is.
Want to help me?
So this last bit, once again you can hear, at least I can hear, that room noise start to creep in.
And I'll be excited to try it.
Once again, if we use our shoulders, this is a little bit off. So let's just move it just a hair to the left. Now the space between the shoulder and the edge of frame is more on. Let's just double check to make sure that
Arcade
works here.
trackball on a Twitchiversary or subathon stream down the line, and I'll be excited to try it.
It's a little bit jarring right there to there. I think only because the head tilt is just that much off. So we'll kind of split the difference there.
Twitchiversary or subathon stream down the line, and I'll be excited to try it. That's how much I enjoyed this experience. And if you enjoyed this video and want to help me keep the shades on and the putts dropping, hit the like button and be sure to subscribe.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of that come through in the audio here.
Video and want to help me keep the shades on and the putts dropping, hit the like button and be sure to subscribe. Also head over to twitch.tv/LuxDomino where we stream every week. It's like this, but live. More laughs, more antics, and of course, more of you helping me keep it together when things start to go sideways, which inevitably they do.
Okay, so let's work on the button first.
Keep chasing greatness, legends. Keep chasing greatness, legends. I'll catch you next round.
Let's frame that up real well. I don't want that to be just that wide shot. I want to be a little bit tighter on that.
Keep chasing greatness, legends. I'll catch you next round.
So we'll work backwards here.
When things start to go sideways, which inevitably they do.
So we'll go close, which inevitably,
When things start to go sideways,
joke line. And let's make it extremely pushed in here.
together, when things start to go sideways, which inevitably they do. Keep chasing greatness.
So there's a little bit of a pause there. And once again, I'm shifted over. Even though if we pull up our guides, now my face is on the right side of the frame. But like I've been saying, if you use your shoulders and your frame, then no matter which way in a talking head, which way your head is tilted, it will feel like it's centered. If your shoulders, let's say in an an extreme case, you now know that something's wrong, unless you're going for that rule of thirds kind of style. You know that if something were to cut to this,
Start to go sideways, which inevitably,
unless you're referencing something over here, it feels really odd still, right? So even a little bit of difference with your shoulders, it will feel like it's centered. So use that if your talent has a lot of head movement.
sideways, which inevitably they do. Keep
I have a lot of that pause there. Go from smiling.
together when things start to go sideways, which inevitably they do. Keep chasing greatness, legends. I'll catch you next round.
And I think we're gonna use the same. I think we'll use the same wipe, or I might end up using my stinger that I use here on stream to do a transition there at the end for the end card. I'm not sure yet.
Which inevitably they do. Keep chasing greatness, legends.
So here we have the potential for a lot of information.
And if
to
you
get
enjoyed
lost.
this video and want to help me keep the shades on and the putts dropping, hit
We'll do a punch there.
me,
Keep the shades on.
keep the shades on and the putts dropping.
This one will be. We'll do more than what we've done for like the mango in the past, but we'll just paste that for now.
Oh, and want to help me keep the shades.
We'll go further in. We won't have to worry about the headroom as much because we're filling more of the screen.
Me, keep the shades on and the putts dropping. Hit the like.
I don't like being that far in, because now you can't see the hands. Putts dropping.
Enjoyed this video and want to help me keep the shades on and the putt.
There's a little bit of a pause here. We can take that out and kind of tighten that up. Let's make sure we move everything to the left.
And if you enjoyed this video and want to help me keep the shades on and the putts dropping, hit the
But you can hear that audio artifact from where
video
I
and
cut
want to
it.
help me keep the shades on and the putts dropping. Hit the like button and
I think
keep the shades on and the
shades on and then putts dropping can be a different. That can be further out. So let's do 62. And then that can be the mango look.
experience. And if you enjoyed this video and want to help me keep the shades on and the putts drop.
I think I can go further out than that. Let's do 60. But now your headrooms have to match so that it feels the same. Let's not forget to put this as blue so we can remember it's wide, pushed in, mid pushed in.
Variance. And if you enjoyed this video and want to help me keep the shades on and the putts dropping, hit the
I wonder if there's a audio glitch there.
shades on and the putts drop.
Say again? Okay. Let me watch it from further back here.
Experience. And if you enjoyed this video and want to help me keep the shades on and the putts dropping, hit
That click. Keep the shades on.
on and the putts drop.
I think it's in this second part.
Want to help me keep the shades on and the putts on and the putts drop. Oh, and want to help me keep the shades on and the putts.
Let's do this and see. It might be that first part though.
If you enjoyed this video and want to help me keep the shades on and the putts drop.
I mean, it did help doing that.
Help me keep the shades on and the putts drop.
No, I think it's this first one. So we'll just do a subtle crossfade here.
Keep the shades on and the putts dropping.
Yep, it was that first one. Because this, we moved it, but then we also kind of snipped it up a little bit.
Me keep the shades on and the putts dropping. Hit the like button.
Now, does it make sense with the
This
motion of my
video
hands?
and want to help me keep the shades on and the putts dropping. Hit the like button and be sure to subscribe.
So subject change, you can use that as a, don't get too crazy, but we can go back to this mango look.
Also head over.
Lux, it matters if you actually paste the attributes.
Subscribe. Also head over to Twitch.
I didn't really catch that.
To subscribe. Also head over to twitch.tv/LuxDomino where we stream every week. It's like this, but live.
I think I want to do a Bill O'Reilly live thing. I know that meme really isn't effective anymore, but I don't know. There's just no like comedic memes or bits on the back end of this. So to treat the people who have suffered through all of this, I think it'd just be fun to have that as a little Easter egg.
To subscribe. Also head over to twitch.tv/LuxDomino.
Once again, shoulders.
and be sure to subscribe. Also, head over to twitch.tv/LuxDomino, where we stream every week. It's like this, but live. More laughs, more antics, and of course,
Live.
this, but live. Live. More.
And then more antics. That'll be the space here.
More laughs, more antics, and of course, more of you helping me keep it together when things start to go sideways, which inevitably they do. Keep chasing greatness.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that as an end. It stays on here a little bit longer.
More laughs, more antics, and of course, more of you helping me keep it together when things start to go sideways, which inevitably they do. Keep chasing greatness, legends. I'll catch you next round.
Okay, cool. I don't want to get that yet because I think we have other things to do. And it actually might be more effective if I just leave it there. Because I might end up thinking like, oh no, I'm not going to do that. So, as far as a runtime, we've got... in to out. It is 10 minutes and 10 seconds. So, changing from I've been creating TikToks and YouTube Shorts, which are just a minute long or less than that sometimes, to going to 10 minutes. It just helps with, I want to monetize the channel and do it rather quickly. So having the amount of time go up, if you don't have a viral video, like millions, you're not going to monetize a shorts via shorts. It's much easier, still difficult, but much easier to monetize a long form YouTube channel. So I'm willing to go through some of the hassle of taking longer to cut this, and now to go back and refine it, and now to go back and add stuff that will make it even better. So for instance, music will probably be next here. I think I caught a lot of the camera cuts, so I think I got most of those. Whether or not I color coded them in here or not, I kind of fell back on that one. So I think music will be next. So let me pause our stream music, and it's gonna be like probably 3 different songs throughout. We already have one here, but it's not going to be one solid song. Here is the song that we have been using. Of course, turned it down. Let's do 12 dBs under. So here's like kind of like a lot of our channels are watched by dudes. And that kind of rock, like commercial rock kind of feel has been successful. So here's what it sounds like.
I think I just found the meta controller for PGA Tour 2K25. And if I'm right, this secret weapon could change everything. Buckle up, legends. This is where it gets fun.
So that's great timing. And I have figured out in the past how long it is, so I don't have to change. I don't have to like cut and repeat the intro. I know how long it takes to get from the beginning of the song to that. So I'm glad I timed out the hook to be that. we are going to fade in that intro a little bit.
I think I just found the meta controller for
And then we're going to duck. It's already at 12. Let's do 16 dB under.
I think I just found the meta controller for PGA Tour 2K25. And if I'm right, this secret weapon could change everything. Buckle up, legends. This is where it gets fun.
So knowing that is where that, whatever we land on for an intro, or even just a wipe or whatever, that's where that's going to be. So, I think this has to get moved over. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And if I'm right, this secret weapon could change everything. Buckle up, legends. This is where it gets fun.
I think more than the music going down dB wise, it's already at 16 dB under. I think the voiceover could go up. Because remember, it's not just turning things up, turning down the thing that you need to turn down. Sometimes it's hard to explain. Sometimes that's not, turning something up is not necessarily going to make it louder. Maybe you have to turn something else down to make this seem louder. But I don't, because this is an energetic hook intro, I don't want the music to get buried. So in this instance, I am going to turn up the VO and see if that pops it out a little bit.
I think I just found the meta controller for PGA Tour 2K25. And if I'm right, this secret weapon could change everything. Buckle up, legends. This is where it gets fun.
So at the intro there, we're going to have, close these down, open this wider. So we're going to have a little automation. This line in your audio, it is the volume like we talked about earlier, but if you hold down your control button or command on Mac, here at the end of this phrase of buckle up, legends.
Buckle up, legends. This is where it gets fun.
So right there at that, I'm going to place I mean, I've called them keyframes, but they're not really keyframe, like waypoints. Keyframe. And I'm going to then add a volume boost. So it's at 16. We'll go up to 10 under. 10 dB under. So still not blasting it in people's faces.
Everything. Buckle up, legends. This is where it gets fun.
But just that little bit.
I've been playing
And however long that intro is going to be, then you'll do the same thing on the backside. You'll curve it down a little bit. So we're just going to add, for right now, we'll add kind of an ambiguous spot to put it in.
I've been playing PGA Tour 2K20.
And then we're going to drop it even more than that.
I've been playing PGA Tour 2K25 since launch, and if there's one thing I've been chasing, it's a control.
We might need a longer fade here to get down to just barely audible.
I've been playing PGA Tour 2K25 since launch, and if there's one...
No, not too much. We want it to continue.
I've been playing PGA Tour 2K25 since launch, and if there's one thing I've been chasing, it's a controller setup that offers more accuracy and repeatability, especially when things go sideways in ranked matches.
So here's the question I have to ask myself. Do I want that kind of rock theme? It's a 3-minute long intro. Music is important, but not if it distracts. So I think what I'm going to do here is not have music going through the entire intro, so that when we bring it back during the gameplay, it makes it a little bit more special. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's find a good spot to
25 since launch, and if there's one thing I've been chasing, it's a controller setup that offers more accuracy and repeatability, especially when things go sideways in ranked matches. One thing I've been chasing, it's a controller setup that offers more accuracy and repeatability, especially when things go sideways in ranked matches. Not that I ever let that happen. That got me thinking. Back in college, I'd always see those Golden Tee arcade machines at beverage establishments and bowling alleys and game rooms. Unfortunately, I never got to play it much, but I couldn't help but notice the giant roller ball that I used. It looked fun, it looked intuitive. Most importantly, it seemed to give the players the precise input that they needed. And then it hit me, like a golf.
So I'm also aware, keenly aware, that depending on, because we don't have music, your voiceover has to sound good by itself. So I'm listening to that too and thinking, what is worth diving into and fixing, in this span.
I've been playing PGA Tour 2K25 since launch, and
I think it has to happen quicker, that fade out.
I've been playing PGA Tour 2K25 since launch, and if there's one thing I've been chasing, it's a controller setup that offers more accuracy and repeatability, especially when things go sideways in ranked matches. Not that I ever let that happen.
So one of the things you can do, for now, I'm going to leave the music in here, but just keep it at a real light level. It is kind of an aggressive song, so you don't want it.
I've been playing PGA Tour 2K25 since launch, and if there's one thing I've been chasing, it's a controller setup.
It's a little bit too long now of a fade, now that we're keeping it in. Maybe not.
I've been playing PGA Tour 2K25 since launch, and if there's one thing I've been chasing, it's a controller setup that offers more accuracy and repeatability, especially when things go sideways in ranked matches.
So right here, we're going to use an audio cue to help someone understand the humor in something. So here we're setting up a joke, and like I said, music or audio cues can be that. The joke is a simple cutaway. It's not a laugh out loud joke. It's like a chuckle. It's like a okay, yeah. So, but music can make it potentially for some people more of a laugh out loud moment. So here's what I mean by that.
Especially when things go sideways in ranked matches. Not that I ever let that happen. That got me thinking.
So that little bit of that pause from the music.
Sideways in ranked matches. Not that I ever let that happen. That got me thinking. Back in.
Now, the difficult thing is, how do you get back in? Do you fade it in?
That got me thinking. Back in college, I'd always...
There's a little bit of a fade there. Do you bring it back in a little bit hotter in the mix, a little bit louder in the mix?
That got me thinking. Back in college, I'd... That got me thinking. Back in college, Or
do you bring it back in on you try and match what you previously were in, but bringing it back on a downbeat.
Back in college, I'd always see those.
Boom, 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 boom. Let's try and time up that hit here.
Happen. That got me thinking. Back in college, I'd always see those.
That feels weird.
Not that I ever let that happen. That got me thinking. Back in college, I'd always see those golden.
I'm gonna make it a little bit quieter here, but I'm gonna fade it in to see if that helps.
happened. That got me thinking. Back in college, I'd always see those Golden Tee arcade machines at.
Fading it and bringing it down, coming from dead silence.
Ranked
Good
matches.
choice.
Not that I ever let that happen. That got me thinking. Back in college, I'd always see those Golden Tee arcade machines at beverage establishments and bowling alleys and game rooms. Unfortunately, I never got to play it much, but I couldn't help but notice the giant roller ball that I used. It looked fun. It looked intuitive. Most importantly, it seemed to give the players the precise input that they needed. And then it hit me, like a golf ball to the face.
So once again, we're going to use, we have set up a joke here. We're going to use this, don't use it too often, but you want, if there's audio to the, joke, then you want that, a lot of times you want that audio to stick, to come out, so.
Precise input that they needed. And then it hit me, like a golf ball to the face. What if we brought a trackball to PGA Tour?
So here we have this boom, 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 boom.
Control over my swings. Could it give me more
We're just gonna bring it back a little bit more.
trackball to PGA Tour 2K25? Could using a trackball give me
I might not even use this part of the song. I might end up later on just fading it out.
What if we brought a trackball to PGA Tour?
Fade it a little bit. So, going from one to the other.
Ability, especially when things go sideways in ranked matches. Not that I ever let that happen. That got me thinking. Back in college, I'd always see those Golden Tee arcade machines at beverage establishments and bowling alleys and game rooms. Unfortunately, I never got to play it much, but I couldn't help but notice the giant roller ball that I used. It looked
The only bummer with this song too is that right here it brings in a tambourine and it totally distracts from. So let's cut out where the tambourine is.
see those Golden Tee arcade machines at beverage establishments.
Right there. So we're gonna cut right there. And it might be enough that we can go back a little bit earlier in the song. Like that's the intro of it.
Happened. That got me thinking. Back in college, I don't.
So we can now get rid of this guy. And this guy.
Happened. That got me thinking. Back in college, I'd always see those Golden Tee arcade machines at beverage establishments and bowling alleys and game rooms. Unfortunately, I never got to play it much, but I couldn't help but notice the giant roller ball that I used.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn here because I think that that is a natural way to
Happened.
bring it out, but
That got me thinking. Back in college, I'd always see those Golden Tee arcade machines at beverage establishments and bowling alleys and game rooms. Unfortunately, I never got to play it much, but I couldn't help but notice the giant roller ball that I...
let's see if bringing the whole thing down works better.
That got me thinking. Back in college, I'd always see those Golden Tee arcade machines.
Now it's too light.
Never let that happen. That got me thinking. Back in college, I'd always see those Golden Tee arcade machines at beverage establishments and bowling alleys and game rooms. Unfortunately, I never got to play it much, but I couldn't help but notice the giant roller ball that I used. It looked fun, it looked intuitive. Most importantly, it seemed to give the players the precise input that they needed. And then it hit me, like a golf ball to the face. What if we brought a trackball to PGA Tour 2K25? Could using a
So using all of this as filler, I don't think will work. So we are going to do a slow fade down here. Almost imperceptible. Hopefully. I think we have to do that early.
I've been playing PGA Tour 2K25 since...
That's too much.
I've been playing PGA Tour 2K25 since launch, and if there's one thing I've been chasing, it's a controller setup that offers more accuracy and repeatability, especially when things go sideways in ranked matches. Not that I ever let that happen. That got me...
Yeah, I think that that's, especially for this, I think especially for this style of music, I think that that little change is going to be better, and have no music, or maybe shift the music, find a different, less busy, less aggressive. That's really just the intro song, so I might add some music here for this section, but I'll definitely, for the gameplay, find kind of a little bit less rocky, some more maybe I don't know, smooth rock? I don't know if that's a thing. Anyway, thanks for joining us tonight. Glad you could hang out a little bit and be maybe somewhat entertained with how I do things. Awkward. How I think about certain things and how I edit. I know that some of you, this is a very visual medium, so I know that some of you just listening to it might not have been fully engaged, but that's fine. I'm here for you. If you need background noise, I'll be your background noise. So glad you could join us. I will see you Tuesday, where we will jump back into some PGA Tour 2K25. Until then, be blessed. Have a great week, and I will see you then.